Standing, it tells you something of where we're at the moment, that Leeds United put out the announcement and the official England Twitter reply with a, go well, James, sort of thing. That tells you where we're at.
Well, it certainly does. Obviously, he went to the World Cup and didn't get any game time, but he's going to be knocking on the door with Jordan Pickford, trying to force him out of that number one slot. And what an opportunity to come to a football club where you're going to be tested with expectancy levels as well. But it seems he's got a good character and he's got the good credentials to deal with it all. So, as Stewie said as well, huge statement from the board and the owners and the group to say that this is what we're doing. And it's a key position, because over the last few years we've not really had a goalkeeper that's gone and said, right, I'm going to be the number one for years and years. We've floated with a few. Perry came in last year and didn't do what he really thought he might do. Opportunity for Trafford to go and do that.
OK, well, not involved today, but we'll be midweek, hopefully. Here we go then. RB Leipzig are the visitors today. We're expecting a high-energy game. Guys, I won't ask you for your score predictions because it's 60 and 60. It'll all get a little bit confusing. What I will do is hand you over to our commentary team today. Brynlaw, Tony DeRigo, and joined, if you love your stats, by Johnny Cooper today. Enjoy the game.
So here we are back at Elland Road. The sun is shining, the ground is full, pretty full anyway, and all looking very splendid. And we are about to see the emergence of the two teams down below. Leeds United taking on RB Leipzig in this pre-season game, with two teams preparing for Premier League and Bundesliga seasons respectively. And the first big fixtures on that basis getting ever closer in focus now. So we have a different format, as you've been hearing, in the build-up to this game this afternoon. We have the two teams who will be playing initially for the first hour, and then we have the two teams that will be playing for the second hour of this, and there will be breaks between the hourly sections. At the 30-minute mark, we'll have a Red Bull energy break, so the sides can take on fluids and probably have a chat with the coaching staff as well. Part of the process today. It is very, very warm inside Elland Road, so the concept of taking on fluid and having a break is not a bad one today. It's a lovely summer's day here in West Yorkshire. We're awaiting the appearance of the two teams down below. Initial two teams, that is, before it all changes midway through this 2-hour-long pre-season friendly. So those who've rocked up in really good numbers for this game this afternoon are getting extra value for money in terms of the amount of football that they're going to be seeing. We've been charting Leeds' progress, in particular through the pre-season so far. Leeds United have just come back off a tour to the United States of America, and Red Bull, RB Leipzig, have been involved in their own pre-season games as well. So both sides have started to get the wheels turning here before the main event begins. It's a cup match first for RB Leipzig. Leeds United with their opening fixture away at Nottingham Forest. Delighted to say that joining us to run the rule over the game this afternoon is Tony DeRigo. Tony, who's been watching Leeds' progress on that US tour, and now will be assessing where the teams are at in terms of their preparations for this forthcoming season. How has it been so far?
Certainly, pre-season is always about staying fit, getting an understanding with your new teammates, and really building up that sharpness ready for the first game of the season. Tactically as well, just trying one or two different things. And we saw that, didn't we, last pre-season, where Leeds went to a back three at times, and eventually that's what turned the season around, changing to a back three at that Manchester City game. So yeah, it's important, these games, but mainly it's getting fitness and getting ready for that first game of the season. But the conditions out there, I have to say, look absolutely perfect. The pitch looks great, and of course we're going to see a lot of football and a lot of new players, so looking forward to it.
Also alongside us on the gantry, we've got Johnny Cooper, our stats man today. What in particular are you looking forward to seeing here?
I think it's going to be a very, very intense game. Leeds were top for high-intensity pressures in the Premier League last season from December onwards when we changed formation. Same with Leipzig. Top for sprints in the Bundesliga, a very, very high-pressing team. So it'll be a very, very high-intense game today.
So we're expecting intensity, and the two teams have appeared. RB Leipzig in red strip, which I believe they're wearing for the first time for this game, and Leeds United in the new home strip. So supporters of both sides getting the chance to run the rule over the new kits for the first time in action. The redevelopment work that's ongoing here at Elland Road, it's been an extremely busy summer behind the scenes at Leeds United, and we sit in the West Stand, but we're amongst the very few who do sit in the West Stand of the stadium today. The East Stand on the other side of the ground is well filled, so it's the three sides of the ground that are in action for this fixture. Ultimately, when the first home game comes around, Brentford here at Elland Road, then it will be back to a four-sided stadium, back to its usual capacity, the ground. And that's why they've been working so hard to make sure that everything is ready for that, as the new stand starts to be built up and around the stand that we now sit in, what you might describe as the old stand. RB Leipzig, who have become a major force in Bundesliga football, finished third in the table last season. As we have a quick glance at the two teams here, Leeds United have not got James Trafford involved in the side for this game this afternoon. He arrived obviously just a couple of days ago, the club's record signing, so Alex Cairns maintains his position in goal. Of interest later on will be potential first appearance of the season of Bijol, who's named amongst the players who will be starting the second period of this pre-season friendly. In terms of the Leipzig side, new goalkeeper is in the team that will play the second half, so Van der Voort is in goal for the first part of this game. Familiar names to a Premier League audience in the form there of Maxim Estev, who's been here to Elland Road playing for Burnley previously, part of that very successful championship defence that Burnley had. And of course he was playing just in front of the man we just mentioned, James Trafford. Leeds United will get the game underway with Dan James, hands on hips in the centre circle, as the club anthem marching on together, as is traditional here, precedes the kick-off. And so the roar goes up. The start of the second part, the second half, if you like, of Leeds United's preparation process here, with games to come against Manchester United in Dublin in midweek, and then back here in a week's time for another German side in opposition in the form of Augsburg. Early foul committed there by Ethan Ampadu. So Leipzig have the free kick. Banzuzi, the man fouled, back on his feet now. In possession for Leipzig. Early defending for Seb Bornauw to do for Leeds, as Bogle tripped and fell.
Yeah, Gomez just caught the back of his heels. I think pre-season you want to try and build up the intensity, don't you, of the games and the quality of the opposition. Certainly in America there was some good quality opposition, but here again RB Leipzig, an excellent side, and Elland Road, it's another good game towards the start of the Premier League season.
There's a player that many Leeds United fans have been looking forward to seeing in the flesh, Muharemović, who put in some excellent performances in the earlier warm-up games. The Bosnian international who featured for his country in the World Cup recently. Sean Longstaff, who was an impressive performer in a couple of those pre-season matches that we've already seen. Part of that comeback that Leeds United had when they came from 2-0 down against Liverpool to win the game by 4 goals to 2, and there's a nice little back heel to play Dan James in here. James up to the edge of the penalty area, tries to get it to cross in. That attempt is thwarted, but the ball goes behind, and we have the first corner kick of the game.
Yeah, certainly good link-up play down that left-hand side. Dan James finding a good bit of space. Couldn't find Harry Wilson in the middle, but the corner kick. And I think this season, certainly, Leeds United will be strong from these sort of areas. And, of course, it is all about the delivery. Longstaff will be taking this one.
Well, we can reflect shortly on the importance of the set pieces as far as Leeds are concerned. We already saw it in that Liverpool game where 2 of the goals came from long throws, but it's a corner kick they have to try and create here. Longstaff's ball is into the middle and surely into the back of the net. Well, it is ultimately, but the referee has already blown the whistle, and there was a foul in there in the build-up, so the goal is ruled out. But initial reaction was that Van der Voort got himself into all sorts of trouble there.
Well, he certainly did. Didn't look like he commanded that 6-yard box very well at all, but a lot of bodies flying around the place. I thought the referee actually pointed to the ball going over the line to his watch, but not so.
So an early corner kick does cause a little degree of chaos defensively for RB Leipzig. Leeds are on the move again here. Dan James trying to thread a ball into the path of Calvert-Lewin.
Estev read the danger well, didn't he then? The RB Leipzig centre-half knew exactly where Calvert-Lewin wanted the ball.
Grafer loses possession. Bogle and now Longstaff. Bornauw is able to roll it back to Alex Cairns, who's enjoyed an extended spell of football for Leeds United in the absence of initially Carl Darlow, who left the club, and then Lucas Perry as well, who we expect will be heading out as well with the arrival of James Trafford. So Cairns has been the go-to goalkeeper in the midst of all of that. A couple of the younger guys will be featuring in the second half of this fixture. It is a warm day, as we already mentioned, sort of day when players may take the opportunity just to move the ball around and then quicken the pace, as we've seen there, as Wilson makes the interception for Leeds.
Yeah, and we talked, didn't we, about that high press, that intensity, and there, Wilson just joined the club, but he understands what's required from the manager, and a couple of times now he's got in the way and blocked a couple of passes from the opposition.
From one goalkeeper to another, from Cairns all the way through to Van der Voort. And a big switch. Leipzig holding on to possession, returning to the goalkeeper.
Interesting, you just see Joe Rodon as well, because clearly the way that RB Leipzig are set up is causing him 1 or 2 problems. So he's trying to get it organised of, OK, who's on Gomez here? You can see he's way on the left, trying to get now. Certainly is right back in the way, Jayden Bogle. But that's what these pre-season games are for as well, just to work out the structure, try and work out the problems in front of you.
Ampadu with a short, simple pass to Muharemović. His ball forward is unsuccessful. It's intercepted, but Leeds are quickly back in possession. Bogle. Well, there's the run of Joe Rodon, powering into the penalty area, rolls it in for Calvert-Lewin. And Leeds United have the opening goal, and Joe Rodon takes all the plaudits. What a run that was. And the central defender rolled in the perfect cross for Dominic Calvert-Lewin to do the rest. Leeds United fashion an excellent goal through an unexpected source.
Right,
Leeds 1, RB Leipzig 0.
It's a fantastic move, it really is. That's a training ground move. We've seen last season, didn't we, allowing Joe Rodon, once Bogle comes inside, just to get up that right wing. We know he's as quick as anything, but we're not used to seeing him flying up and down that right wing. However, when he got there, the ball across was superb, and the space in between the defenders and the keeper was such that Calvert-Lewin got there first, and it's a really good finish. DCL knew the ball was coming across, and once again gets on the score sheet. Good goal.
Yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, as he was in the game against Liverpool, right place, right time for a straightforward finish. His name rings out around Elland Road. Well, Joe Rodon may have been struggling to work out who he was meant to be picking up or to organise his defensive line then, but it was the offensive burst of pace that carried him through into space from a great pass through, and his cross was just what was required.
I think that's interesting from a tactical point of view, in that you think that 3 at the back is a more defensive way of playing, but actually, you know, if you play it right, look at that, the right-sided centre-half was there, ending up on the right wing, so it's all about keeping possession and moving forward at the right time.
Ball swung into the Leeds penalty area. Muharemović with a good header down away and into the path of Longstaff. And Leipzig find space, or try to find space in the Leeds United penalty area. Justin marshals the ball well, and so the forward run of Romelu was unsuccessful. The big tall Brazilian who operates in the midfield for RB Leipzig.
Yeah, Romelu just trying to make that angled run, but Justin physically just got himself in the way and defended well.
Muharemović in field to Ethan Ampadu, who plays it to the right to Joe Rodon, who's setting off on a run again. Slows up, and this time errs on the side of caution, goes back to the captain. Muharemović to Bornauw. RB Leipzig moving left to right as they try and pick up the run of Rodon once more, who's on his way. This time he tees it up for Longstaff. Longstaff to Justin in the penalty area, who shoots goalwards, and it skims across the turf and rolls into the hands of Van der Voort. Joe Rodon again at the heart of that Leeds attacking move.
Okay, what's going on here? Joe Rodon, brilliant, finding space, going forward, being adventurous, and really causing a problem for RB Leipzig.
Longstaff with the ball back into his own half, where James Justin waits and rolls it into Alex Cairns and back out to Bornauw.
I love it. Rodon's going, no, calm down, no more, don't give me the ball.
He needs a breather.
He needs a rest.
There's a reason that central defenders' careers go on a long time. And it isn't lung-bursting runs forward as another cross comes in, easily dealt with by Van der Voort.
Good positioning from the keeper there. Knew exactly where the ball's going and just stepped out and sorted it out for RB Leipzig.
Leipzig, who are distance behind Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich, in the top 2 in the Bundesliga last season, but still have Champions League football to look forward in the next campaign, as their presence at the top end of the top German division has been confirmed by another impressive season. And they're on the move here as well now, as the ball in towards the penalty area is cut out by Muharemović from Bakayoko.
Yeah, Bakayoko trying to thread it through to Romelu, but you could see they were patient in possession. And when they did move it forward quickly, found space, got up on that right wing and looked dangerous.
Leeds have come up against German opposition from Leipzig previously, Lokomotiv Leipzig, many years ago in a European campaign. challenged by Bogle. And the ball is quickly moved forward up towards the edge of the penalty area before Longstaff with a great challenge just to thwart the ambitions of Gomi there.
You just saw there RB Leipzig, as they lost the ball after a great Longstaff challenge, went hunting in packs, didn't they? There were 3 or 4 of them trying to win it back nice and early.
So Bornauw retrieves the ball and positions it so he can just poke it into the path of Alex Cairns. Martin de Michaelis is in charge of RB Leipzig for the forthcoming season. Well-known figure from his time in the English game. Premier League winner with Manchester City. Fantastic record he has as a player. And has achieved great success as a coach as well when he did really well with River Plate in Argentina. Wilson couldn't get on the end of that. Vermeeren. He goes into Leeds territory. Vermeeren back on the ball again. Just a little too far ahead of Gomi on that occasion. He stretched, but he couldn't stop the ball. Calvert-Lewin comes deep into his own half.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, that's what you want your centre forward to do. Get hold of that ball, bring others into play.
Just to remind you, we'll be playing a half an hour here, so we are almost midway through the first quarter of this game, and then there'll be a break, an energy break, and then they'll be back out for another 30 minutes, and then another break, and then the teams will change effectively at that point. And for the second hour, 2 different lineups. It's a system that RB Leipzig should be used to, operated in their last friendly. What it does give is the opportunity for players to get maximum minutes across the squad, I guess.
It does, and everyone can get it an hour at least, which I think is really important.
Ball is still in that Leeds half, and there's a little bit of space for RB Leipzig to try and operate in down the edge of the Leeds penalty area. Muharemović just able to protect the ball sufficiently for it to be returned to Alex Cairns. Keba Ingrafa. Gomi into the middle for Vermeeren. RB Leipzig beginning to enjoy a bit more possession now after Leeds' lightning start. Okay, we're just looking for an option here. Takes the safe one ultimately. Suspicion of a handball in the midst of all of that. The referee saw nothing wrong as Cairns, almost a moment's hesitation that cost him, but Romelu couldn't get on the end of it.
Excellent touch from Vermeeren then in that midfield. Good way from Leeds getting it forward quickly, but Vermeeren just enough.
Red Bull energy break, I should say, is heading in our direction in another 13 minutes now. The ball goes over the head of Joe Rodon, who was strong in maintaining his position, keeping Romelu away from the ball. Calvert-Lewin offside.
Just went a little early. That's what Calvert-Lewin certainly gives you, those runs into the channels. Just trying to hit him at the right time.
Loose ball. Harry Wilson. I've seen too much of Harry Wilson on the ball thus far.
No, he's done a bit of work defensively. He's done that well, but of course what he was brought in for is really to produce in that last third, and not had many opportunities just yet.
And Zuzi back into his own half. Under a little pressure, Lukeba goes to search for a bit of assistance. Vermeeren provides it. Van der Voort sends it a long way forward. Great little glancing header down from Bogle, from Rodon. Bogle's pass not so good, and now there's a potential attack building here for RB Leipzig. Vermeeren, Van Zuzi. And back again. Estev carries it forward and then turns and goes the other way. A little bit of space down Leipzig's left. Gomi from Garfon back into the centre circle to Estev. Lovely little ball inside, sets up the opportunity to cross, defended by Longstaff. Muharemović with a high clearance. Now Ampadu looks and sees the potential to play in his teammate James. RB Leipzig just beginning to dominate possession here now.
Yeah, keeping the ball well. Not really. As soon as I say that, I knew the centre-half's going to boot it out. That's what always happens. But yeah, certainly dominating possession without really getting in behind the Leeds defence.
Leeds throw in. Joe Rodon is offered the opportunity to take it. Cairns out to Justin. Couldn't get the ball beyond the challenge of Vermeeren. Estev sends it back into his own half. Ampadu goes into battle and earns himself a free kick there. Not an awful lot in it, but sufficient for the referee to decide that Leeds would regain possession in the form of this free kick.
Yeah, Muharemović getting a bit frustrated there, trying to slide the ball in to him, but Ampadu, we know he's really good at that position and just getting a foot in when required. Oh, Bogle's just taken a knock there.
Talking of getting a foot in was from Graffa, and Jayden Bogle is feeling the after effects of that challenge.
And this is what I don't like to see in pre-season games, any sort of injuries, the last thing you want. Leeds, of course, already have Goodmanson with a bit of a problem, but hopefully the other wing-back here, Bogle, was up on his feet and he'll be okay.
Gabby Goodmanson picked up an injury in the last game in America. and is here today watching, but will not be part of what we see here this afternoon. Bogle limps away. He's immediately asked to try and challenge for the ball. Wilson, well played to control and direct the pass back to Bornauw, and then comes back in to take possession, take control. Rodon hugging the touchline. Ampadu pushed to ground, and the hands in the back there applied by Muharemović.
It's nice. It's really good pressure, but we're moving the ball quickly, having really confidence just to play it into the likes of Ampadu there with a man behind him, but the foul had to be given away.
Cairns taking his time, weighing up his options. Rodon just dropped the shoulder, but his intentions were well read by Banzuzi.
Nmecha almost got onto the pitch. The ball hadn't quite got out, and he wanted to give it a touch.
He still looks in good nick, to be fair. Could still do a job, I'm sure. 45 years old, but not that long since he put his playing career behind him. Ball bobbles around in the midfield, but Estev ends up with clean possession. Vermeeren sitting in that midfield, holding midfield role. Leipzig making progress down their right, trying to fashion an opening on the edge of the area, but Bakayoko couldn't make it into the Leeds penalty area, and there's applause for Leeds' defensive efforts.
Yes, Muharemović there, very clever, rather than just booting it up. Played it against the RB Leipzig player and shepherded the ball out. He looks very comfortable on the ball as well.
One of Leeds' significant investments so far this summer. It's Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who arrived last summer. Proved to be an excellent signing. He's brought to ground, and so Leeds have a free kick in the RB Leipzig half. It's been the Bundesliga side that's been controlling much of the game in the last 10 minutes or so, but Leeds United have an opportunity here to try and create something themselves as Longstaff plays a great ball into James, who's into the penalty area to shoot just wide. So they very much did create an opportunity from that set piece. Dan James put the ball one side of the post when perhaps could have got it the other side for 2-0.
Yes, he opened himself up really well. The speed to get into that space, a good ball into him as well, and had plenty of time to pick his spot. Tried to go for the don't watch the eyes shot, but you've got to hit the target. Dan James couldn't.
So for all the possession thus far, it's Alex Cairns who's been well protected. The action has been in front of the other goalkeeper. Longstaff does well, protecting the ball.
Brilliant.
Plays it into Justin and then James, and back to Longstaff once more. Muharemović and Ampadu. Now Bornauw. Wilson. A short pass back to Muharemović, who goes to Justin. Leeds turn to enjoy a longer spell on possession of the ball. Bogle flicks it on with the head to Rodon, who is bundled over. And Lukeba. And so Leeds United will have the free kick right in front of Daniel Farke. Nice touch inside from Rodon. Here's Wilson. You could see what the idea was, to try and get James in space, but the execution wasn't what was required. Block challenge from Rodon. Drops very nicely into the path of Justin. Now James has got the ball. Tried to hook it into the penalty area. Muharemović told to shoot. Ignores the call of the crowd. Bogle wins it back well. Curls a great cross in, just off the forehead of Dominic Calvert-Lewin there. It glanced across the fringe, basically. And he wasn't able to apply proper contact with the ball.
Tremendous cross. Absolutely superb from Bogle. Once again, you don't need to look up to see where your number 9, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, is. Just put it into an area. And Calvert-Lewin couldn't quite get there, but it's a quality cross.
Gomi in field. Ampadu tussling. Banzuzi. And when he does emerge with possession of the ball, it's as a result of his push in the back of the Leipzig player. Miran out to his right. Henrichsen, then it comes back over to this near side, and it's all a bit wrong, and there's a little bit of frustration in the reaction from Fingraffer. And that's what pre-season's all about, isn't it?
It is, just miscontrol, and he will be frustrated. And as much of the ball that maybe Leipzig have had, I think they'll be disappointed with how little Cairns has been worked in the Leeds goal.
The ball is back from Lukeba, back to the goalkeeper, and the whistle sounds, and we have our first energy break. So the two teams head towards the respective dugouts, and fluids are provided. It will be a welcome opportunity for coaches to have a chat as well. And as we reflect on that first 30 minutes with Leeds United 1-up, what is it that you might have noticed in there, Johnny, that we should be focusing on?
Well, the funny thing that I did notice was that Leipzig didn't concede a single goal in the first 15 minutes of a Bundesliga game last season. So Calvert-Lewin's already done what no Bundesliga player could do last season, and that was one of only 3 times in Bundesliga history nobody had ever scored in conceded in the first 15 minutes. The other thing was Joe Rodon getting the assist, because he's never assisted a goal for Leeds in a competitive game in 136 games. So what I'm saying is, let's get Joe Rodon playing right wing next season, I think, personally. The other thing as well was a set piece early on. I know we got the, I think, goal disallowed, or it was there was a foul. But, you know, last season we scored the highest percentage of our goals from set pieces in the Premier League. We were 3rd behind Arsenal and Man United, so, you know, that's going to be something I'm sure that, you know, they're working on. Leipzig haven't had a shot yet either, which is, you know, has been really good defending. And I think my favourite stat of the half, well, the first period anyway, is the player with the fewest touches on the pitch has been Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but he's had the most important one, so that's what counts.
That's how it works sometimes when you're a centre forward, isn't it? The activity is just in that little key area, the 6-yard box.
You're absolutely right, and I think when those chances come, it's about the ratio of how many you take. That's what it's all about for a striker. And the ball was superb from Joe Rodon, and we've seen it many a time. Calvert-Lewin, you know, arriving in the box, and he's confident. He scored a 2, didn't he, against Liverpool in the last game as well. He made a really good start here, but overall I think Daniel Farke will be quite happy with what he's seen, the movement. You know that this RB Leipzig side are a very good side, Champions League side. They keep the ball well, but limiting them to no shots on target. Defensively, impressive as well.
So we are assessing the way that the first 30 minutes of this has gone. Really helpful input from Johnny Cooper, who's sitting alongside us on the gantry, providing that there's another pearler there straight away, isn't there? Joe Rodon has never had an assist for Leeds United before, so straight in, and we have something to reflect on. The people inside the stadium can say they saw it, they were here for it.
Do you remember
his last assist in a competitive game was October 2019. That was for Swansea away at Charlton. So that really has been a long wait for him, but I'm so pleased for him. It was a great ball in.
Well, he celebrated more than Calvert-Lewin did, and now I understand why.
Yeah, no, listen, I think it's brilliant as well. But we saw it last season, didn't we, when you know, the pattern of play sometimes meant that Joe Rodon was the kind of the spare man. But I like the movement of Bogle in front. They know when to do it. Bogle comes inside, the space opens up, and we know one of our fastest players is Joe Rodon. So get him in running the ball onto the ball in that right-hand side. He's going to get there, but what you don't expect, of course, is a centre-half to put a cross in like he did. So it was a brilliant delivery and a really good finish.
Who are the hard runners? We know the hard runners in the Leipzig side in comparison to the hard runners in the Leeds United lineup.
In the Leipzig side, Romulo, the striker, he was top for high-intensity pressures last season in the Bundesliga, overall in the opposition half and the opposition penalty area. So he's somebody who's going to be closing the defence down. In our team, Brendan Aaronson was top last season for high pressure. I know he's not on the pitch at the moment. Calvert-Lewin as well, after we changed formation, was top for high pressures on opponents. Brendan Aaronson was second, and again Calvert-Lewin high pressures in the opponent half after we changed formation. He was top by quite a considerable margin as well. So obviously he's scoring the goals. He's not having many touches, but he is closing people down a lot. That's makes a big difference for the team, winning a lot of aerial duels as well.
I mention that because Romelu had seen that he was one of those who would likely feature on that basis. Not actually seen much of him up top for Leipzig, have we, so far?
No, because we've defended those little areas in and around the box extremely well. And you can see one or two of the players trying to slide it into Romelu, but they haven't been able to do that. He's strong, he's quick, but can't get on the ball. What I do like, though, as well, when they do lose the ball, he's really quick to close down, but so are all the others. But we're still Leeds managing to play their way through. And both sides, playing that high-pressure ball, it's so important because you then put pressure on the defenders to pass it forward, and maybe they're not as accurate as they would like to be, and you win the ball back very quickly. And, that's when, OK, Calvert-Lewin hasn't many touches, but that pressure, that work rate, we do reap the rewards further down the line.
Teams are back out, and we are ready to resume here. And you will notice that we have switched ends. The two teams have swapped around, something that the referee stipulated needed to happen. So it very much was like a half-time. And it will be RB Leipzig who are on the ball now, who will be kicking towards the south stand in the second period of this first quarter. Little fall to the ground, but Bakayoko looks towards the referee and gets nothing. And the ball goes back into the feet of Cairns. Bogle's pressure is unfair pressure, so that will be RB Leipzig free kick, which is taken quickly. And they have possession on the edge of the Leeds United penalty area. Calvert-Lewin sees the ball out. Most of the pitch is in bright sunlight, as you can see, but there is a strip on this near side underneath the roof of the West Stand, where there is a cooling shadow, which is where the coaching staff sits. The new dugouts here at Elland Road that require a mention as well. That's a major change, as Leeds United finally have those posh Premier League seats for the coaches and substitutes to sit in. Leipzig attacking the Leeds United penalty area, into the Leeds United penalty area, and fashioning the space for a shot. He tried his best. He has a little touch to Vermeeren, and then it's swung in goalwards, and it's not a bad effort either from Henrichs. And Cairns at full stretch managed just to get fingertips to keep that one away from goal. RB Leipzig have begun this second period on the front foot. Here they come again, briefly at least. James looked to burst forward before Vermeeren made the challenge that brought him to ground and stopped him in his tracks.
Yes, Gomi initially with the shot, superbly blocked by Joe Rodon, but when it come out to Henrichs, a good shot, and Cairns saw it all the way. That's a good save, because it's hard and low to his right hand side, just bounced in front, but gets it away well.
Bornauw out to Bogle. Wilson can't give the ball back. And it's Van der Voort out of the penalty area, into the middle it goes, and Vermeeren back to the goalkeeper again. Van der Voort will be watching on with interest as one of the new signings, Elland, lines up for the second half of this game. James in space for Leeds United to the byline. Gets it into the middle, but it took a bit of a deflection on its way. It was cleared out by Estev. Muharemović takes a quick throw in. Cairns goes long. Good ball into the chest of Bogle. Wilson under a little pressure turns back towards his own penalty area. Bornauw into that penalty area. Now Muharemović. Nice ball out to James. A little example of a man with ice in his veins as he played that one out to defence and just played the right ball
with the right pace, and that's the thing. He wraps it in, gives the player that's receiving the ball, even more time to then deal with it and look up. But I like the way he's positive in his passing.
On the ball again here now. So Bornauw to Joe Rodon. Tried to clip it up the line for Jaden Bogle. It got a deflection that took it out. Needs throw in. Bornauw can't see them beyond the press there.
A lot of red shirts, aren't there, just in front and blocking his way. 4 at the top. Look at that, across the pitch.
There's that man we spoke about in the interval, Romelu, trying to bustle his way into the penalty area, and then Calvert-Lewin, another player we spoke about at the other end, was penalised for that challenge on Estev. Henrichs. Goalkeeper just drops that beyond the challenge of Wilson. Wilson does win the ball, but wins it through the man. Back it goes to Van der Voort. Chase is on. Cairns is going to get there first. The game has settled back down after that early flurry at the start of this second period, with the first shot on target from RB Leipzig, as Johnny was mentioning in the interval. Unusual for them not to be creating chances. It's the reputation they've established with the way they play. James is on the chase through here. The goalkeeper's going to get down just ahead of him, but of concern to Leeds United is the sight of the player down in the centre circle.
Who went down and stayed down. And that's always a worry, especially when it's someone as influential as our skipper, Ethan Ampadu.
So Ampadu beginning to move now.
Yeah, none of his teammates are looking at the bench either to get the medical staff on, so hopefully it's just a knock and he'll be up and okay.
Well, there isn't a problem particularly with replacements here, because obviously there's a whole team of them potentially waiting, or will be waiting to appear in due course. Ampadu back on his feet. The ball will be dropped in front of Maxim Estev. After Vermeeren with a little pull back on James there, having lost possession. He was loose in possession, wasn't he?
Yeah, but Estev's complaining because the referee kind of got in the way of Vermeeren, and that just led, unfortunately, to his slight miscontrol, and eventually the foul was given. Now, set pieces, we know we are strong at those, and that trend has to continue. And if you look at the size of the boys we're sending up into the box, it really is about the delivery. Let's see how RB Leipzig can defend these.
Well, Johnny highlighted that the importance of the set-piece goals to Leeds United last season. They'll want to more than replicate that. Longstaff with the delivery. Calvert-Lewin with a header. They didn't come too far away from doing exactly that, as Longstaff's ball was right where Calvert-Lewin will surely have wanted it. His header was straight at the keeper.
Yeah, once again, just putting the ball in a dangerous area. Works extremely well. Couldn't quite get the angle, Calvert-Lewin, but excellent nonetheless.
Ampadu chips it forward to Longstaff. Nice football. All under pressure. You expect that from Leipzig. Wilson goes to ground, looks towards the referee. Referee says nothing doing. So Bogle comes in, and there is something doing. Banzuzi was on the end of that one. Bogle goes to offer a word of apology.
That's where the word friendly has no meaning, really.
Competitive friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
As the clock ticks down for both these teams towards the start of the season. For Leipzig, that means a cup tie against Eintracht Trier before they have their first Bundesliga game against Borussia Mönchengladbach, which will be of interest in particular for their new signing, Marco Reitz, who's not involved today but has joined the club from Borussia Mönchengladbach, having been there for many, many years, since a child. So I'm sure you'll be meeting a lot of old friends, but I'm sure there'll be a little bit of edge in terms of that potential reunion. Wilson intercepts, gets the ball to Longstaff. Just Longstaff put it in behind him. Vermeeren wins it back for RB Leipzig. And then there's was that a foul?
No, I think that's unfortunate there for Gumi on the far side. I just thought Bogle read where he's going. RB Leipzig player fell to the ground, but he did win his team a free kick.
So Leeds have a set piece to defend. The big guys go up for Leipzig. Bogle with the first touch. Calvert-Lewin with the second, which gets it out of the penalty area. Ampadu with that clearance. The shot is hit firmly enough, but straight in the direction of Alex Cairns, who drops to his left and makes the save.
Muharemović, clever there, took it really early as well. One touch and then got the shot away quickly, trying to surprise Cairns.
Bogle on the charge forward for Leeds as the ball goes back to Van der Voort. Rodon covering for him to good effect. Justin, Ampadu, and again Justin. Now James onside. Justin continues his run, puts it into the edge of the box almost. Right, Dominic Calvert-Lewin wanted it in a slightly different place. Some great build-up play. The final ball not quite what was required.
No, it wasn't, but it was the right idea, wasn't it, to get it in nice and early. And of course, we know his left foot isn't his strongest, but the idea was right, almost.
Goes to Cairns. Muharemović on the move. Bogle chased after it, but it was just taken away from him. Out it goes to the throw-in.
Close, Muharemović with a really good raking pass, and that's why it works so well either side of Bornauw. You have Joe Rodon wants to get the forward. Muharemović again, always positive, wants to get forward. Another great ball.
This time Justin over the top on the ball, looking towards the penalty area as the bodies arrive. Wilson! Oh! Just scooped over the crossbar there. Has more incisive play from Leeds United, starting at the back and almost ending up in a goal.
Yeah, absolutely superb play. Really was. James Justin once again was better his man down this left-hand side, and rather than put it in with his left foot, just waited, got it back to his right, and then the supporting run was superb. Unfortunately, Aaronson couldn't quite finish it off.
Romelu, well marshalled by Seb Bornauw. He's a player who's having a good pre-season for Leeds as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned pre-season, how it can be very important for certain players, and I would pick another one out, Longstaff in midfield and Bornauw. Both those players are saying, you know what, here I am, I want to start in that first 11. They've played very well.
Here is Bornauw. He was an assist provider for Calvert-Lewin against Liverpool. Longstaff was a goal scorer. He's confident in moving the ball in triangles just outside the penalty area, and then looking to build something going forward. It's Rodon again. He shouldn't chuckle. We should be getting used to the sight now. But
stop laughing, Brent. He's a right winger at times. Okay.
Some of the football there was great.
Oh, great.
Leeds United.
Yeah, you know, it's a good understanding between them all. And in the end, Rodon tearing down that right-hand side. He needs a rest, to be fair.
He knows he's getting one, doesn't he? So he's 13 more minutes of charging up and down the pitch, and then he can sit back and reflect on hopefully a job well done. Put the cross in for Leeds United's goal, converted by Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Leipzig look forward. Don't see too many gaps, and Muharemović fills that one. Good football again. Wilson to Ampadu, and there's a run from Justin, and it's picked out well by Longstaff. Justin on the edge of the penalty area. New James was outside. It comes back for Longstaff. Leeds keep the pressure on here.
Ampadu just had a word with Justin. Ampadu made a lung-bursting run into the box and didn't come in quite early enough for him, but I found the funny side.
It's the time for still finding the funny side. In a couple of weeks, it'll be way more serious. Although, having spoken to the new goalkeeper on the day of his arrival, he used the word fun more than once in the interview. Said he was looking forward, it was going to be good fun. It's not a word you often use in terms of the modern day footballer.
But I think we've been around the group, haven't we, long enough, Bryn, to observe and see how they interact with each other, and it does genuinely look like they certainly care for each other and are having fun at the same time. And you know, it's a good place to be at the moment, this Leeds United dressing room.
Good football. Wilson finds space to work through the middle, and then his pass is just a little too heavy. Could have taken it on himself there and selfishly tried to play in James, but he'd worked it so well prior to that.
Oh, that was wonderful play. Just that final pass, running at full pelt, couldn't just pass it with a bit more finesse to Dan James.
One of the challenges that Daniel Farke has and will have been working through in this pre-season period is having brought Harry Wilson in. How does he accommodate him? Where does he use him? That probably is part of this planning process just at the moment, isn't it?
It is, and of course with Dominic Calvert-Lewin playing up top, it's then, you know, how do you play behind him? And it does look like the likes of James this time on the left-hand side and Wilson on the right. And can start a bit more narrow, help out in that midfield area, but drift inside or outside. And for me, that's where Wilson's best position is, on that right-hand side, you know, coming in.
Ball forward from Tingraffa into the penalty area. Good work by Bornauw, who came across the run of Banzuzi. Gets him applause from the Leeds United supporters. Ampadu just about keeps it away from Vermeeren, ends up on the ball anyway. It looks like it's just going to carry too far.
Bornauw took a knock just before when he challenged Banzuzi, and he's not quite recovered properly from it. I don't think it's nothing too serious. He just wants to take a little bit longer to recover.
Yeah, we haven't seen Bijol in pre-season yet for Leeds United, but he will be appearing in this game today. But any issues in that particular part of the pitch will be of concern. There's a bit of space for the ball from Bakayoko. Some challenge that from Muharemović, but Bakayoko does end up with the ball in front of him. And then the foul is committed by Longstaff.
Oh, Muharemović there with a excellent challenge. Leeds fans will love that sort of thing. Unfortunately, it's dropped back to an RB Leipzig player. Now they have a free kick in a dangerous area.
So we've talked about Leeds' successes from set pieces last season. Leipzig have the chance to show what they can do here. With a queue of the big guys waiting on the left side of the penalty area as they look at it. Plenty of Leeds height in there as well. And it comes towards the goalkeeper, and the little flick is just beyond the far post. The final touch off a Leeds head, and Seb Bornauw gets the high fives because I think that was an important touch.
Well, it certainly was, and we talk about quality deliveries, and that certainly was one. Really difficult to defend against. Got to try and get there first, but they put it in such an area, Cairns, the keeper, can't come out for it. So you're hoping one of the defenders gets on the end of it, and Bornauw did.
Leipzig with another chance here to put pressure on, and another header is won. Estev was up high, but couldn't direct the header down on goal, and wide it goes.
Yeah, once again, excellent ball in. Estev got the run. I probably think he should have done a little better. Once you get there, you want to get it on target. He couldn't, just put off enough by Leeds defender.
Alex Cairns rolls it out to Bornauw. Calvert-Lewin. Oh, almost turned into a really good flick as Bogle was waiting, but the interception was made. Van der Voort, and out it goes to Mkeba. Vermeeren and Henrichs to his right to Bakayoko. Vermeeren back to Estev. Just a Leeds press there that sees the ball back ultimately with the goalkeeper. Leipzig back in quickly into Leeds territory. Bakayoko, Vermeeren, and Estev. Potential for the cross in. The block is made by Bogle. It's going to spin up and over Alex Cairns, and it'll be a corner kick to RB Leipzig, who are just applying a bit of pressure to that Leeds United penalty area now.
Yeah, they managed to get a good bit of space on that left-hand side. I think Rafa just had time to put it in, but the deflected cross goes out for a corner kick, and we know, as we have seen just in the last few minutes, the delivery is very good. So Leeds United here have to be defending strongly and well. An opportunity for RB Leipzig.
Wasn't such a good delivery, and James Justin had good contact with the ball clear, but then he'll have to stay in position because the second cross comes off him and goes behind for yet another corner.
Yeah, just needs a minute.
Yeah, that caught him.
Yeah,
sensitive part of the body.
He's up and he's walking, so that's good.
Has to adopt the same position again. Same outcome. Justin heads it clear. Bakayoko gets his ball in. Ampadu read it. Can only clear out. Down by the corner flag.
Yeah, the wing-backs have swapped over due to the set piece, and actually stayed that way for now. Bogle still on this left-hand side, James Justin on the right.
What on earth is going on between the assistant and Bakayoko there? assistant being asked to provide more space perhaps for the throw-in, which comes in now. Bakayoko, chance for the cross from Henrichs, in it goes. Is that pushing the back of Bornauw?
Yeah, absolutely. Romulo with the push, getting a little frustrated up there, doing a lot of work, but getting no reward, and Bornauw defending well.
Clock ticks down towards the second energy break here. A couple of minutes to go at the end of this first hour. And so it will be all change very shortly. Just as we've got used to a set of players for both teams. We had to readjust, recalibrate, refocus on two new groups.
Great closing down. And Ampadu, certainly in that midfield, just loves to tear about, put the opposition under pressure, and he was a great example of it.
James Justin, ball in hand. Referee sees that as a foul by Esteve on Calvert-Lewin. So potentially chance for Leeds to put it in the penalty area, but as is the modern way, they go backwards instead.
Surely you're used to that now, Bryn. Come on.
I should be used to it, shouldn't I? I'm expecting everyone to go up for it. It's not happening.
Good ball.
Justin in space.
Bad ball.
Easily intercepted in the centre circle by Lukeba. And now Banzuzi to Vermeeren. Back it goes to Banzuzi. And then when the cross comes in from the left side, it breaks kindly for Leeds, but quickly lost it. And Ampadu is in there to do an old-fashioned job, just put your boot through it.
Yeah, Longstaff let it go. Unfortunately, it got picked off. Muharemović, I thought he should have had a shot, but he missed the opportunity as well.
Banzuzi. As we move into the final few seconds of what could be described as the first game between these two. Just the last opportunity perhaps here. Gomi into Vermeeren for RB Leipzig to create a moment of danger. Cairns quickly off his line, and there goes the whistle to bring an end to the first hour's football here at Elland Road. And as that whistle sounds, it's that early goal from Leeds United, scored by Dominic Calvert-Lewin, created by the cross from Joe Rodon, that separates these two teams. And Leeds have had the better of it in terms of openings perhaps, but in that half an hour that we've just witnessed, we have seen more of RB Leipzig as an attacking force. In terms of the assessment at this stage then, Johnny, how are you looking and what are you looking at?
I was very impressed with Sean Longstaff in the first half. Unfortunately, we don't have distance covered stats today, but last season he was top per 90 minutes for distance covered in the Premier League. And I'd be very surprised if anyone had covered more distance today. I thought he was absolutely superb.
In terms of, we've talked about set pieces, we did see a lot of RB Leipzig corners in that half. Or what are we? I'm losing track of the fractions here. In that period, how did that tally in terms of what they do usually?
I'm not sure on Leipzig, but for Leeds last season, we conceded the second most goals from corners. So I was quite pleased to see. Well, I was quite pleased to see a couple of the corners just being headed out at the first man. But it's certainly been an Achilles heel last season with set pieces and corners. So yeah, hopefully we keep defending them, and hopefully they keep hitting the first man.
So we have two groups of players out on the pitch now who are going through their warm-up, and the first two 11s have now departed, so we can start to analyse what Leeds United will do in this second hour. and what RB Leipzig will do in this second hour. And I think it's fair to say that the Leeds United side will be somewhat more youthful in this second period of the game.
You're absolutely right, yes, and of course RB Leipzig, Champions League team, their squad will be a little bit bigger and deeper, shall we say. Whereas for Leeds United, there's a few young boys will get their chance. But what a great experience for them. But also, you look at one or two other players out there. Bijol, very important for him to finally get some minutes in his legs and show that he's okay and pushing for a starting spot. Of course, Brendan Aaronson, is another one that would expect to try and get in that first 11 as well. And Gnonto, another one as well. So Anton Stach. There's plenty of quality out there as well, along with 3 or 4 youngsters.
We had another chance to run the rule over Muharemović there, Johnny. What is it that he's got? What have Leeds United found? What have they seen in terms of his stats?
He's a very, sort of say old-fashioned defender, but somebody who gets himself in the way of shots.
But as we've seen, Tony, he is a defender, but he's a passer of the ball as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think that's really important when you've got 3 at the back, the 2 wide men that need to be progressive. You can keep 2 at the back, 1 needs to go forward. But also when you're comfortable in possession at the back, rather than keeping it going back across the back 3 or the back 5, can you find the pass forward? Can you thread something into that midfield? We've seen in the 3 games that he's played, he looks up. The first thing he does is look up. He knows where everyone is, and he slides balls forward, which I like. Really positive in his play. And so, it's just another level up, I do think, of in possession. Of course, what you want is someone that's strong defensively. The stats show that's exactly what he is. But what else can we have? Well, can we have someone that can really pass that ball forward? And that's his strength, for sure.
So Muharemović again impressing. I'm sure Leeds fans are like seeing of him. As we have a slightly extended break here, because it's a big switch over now with 2 sets of players who've been watching for the first half an hour. Some of them have been involved in warm-ups down the touchline in front of us, but I need a little bit more than that to get themselves up to speed for an hour's worth of football here. I remind you that Leeds United are away in Dublin on Wednesday. Historic game really at Croke Park, the home of GAA, where it will be Leeds United against Manchester United in front of an 80,000 crowd, and then Leeds return to Elland Road for a fixture against Augsburg next week. So as the players go through a little bit of a warm-up routine here, and we prepare for the second hour's worth of football, chance for us now to hand back to the guys down on the touchline and get their view on what they've seen so far.
Right then, sun shining here at Elland Road. It is half-time, 60 minutes through this 120 minutes between Leeds United and RB Leipzig. Leeds 1 goal to the good, thanks to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We're very near a sprinkler. Let's see how this goes. Stuart Dallas looking even as nervous as he did when the BMX was flying over him. And Simon Grayson here with us today. Si, let me come to you first. First 60 minutes there. 1 goal to the good. What have you made of it?
Yeah, look, I think it's been a good workout. We knew that they were going to be a good, strong physical team. They're going to ask questions of you. But I think when you look at the overall 60 minutes, I think there's been some good points. I think they've defended well. Not really left Cairns too exposed. I think he's had a few half shots to really serve. We've created some good chances, scored a fantastic goal, had a couple of other half chances that we maybe could have done better with. But overall, I would be really pleased if I was Daniel.
Yes, Stu, what about you? I mean, don't worry, the sprinkler. Just don't look at the screen, Stu, because that sprinkler looks like it's coming from somewhere it shouldn't be. But anyway, side on it does. What have you made of that first part of the game?
Yeah, I think I very much agree with Simon. I think it's been a game started really well. Obviously got the goal. I think the manager will be telling them probably to be a wee bit more tidier on the ball. I think they've turned it over a few too many times in midfield, and they've been sloppy with it. But in terms of out of possession, I think they've been really good defensively. They've been strong. They haven't really give up too many opportunities. A few long range shots for Alex to deal with, but I think the distances between the lines, between each player, they're still getting, building them relationships again. And I think defensively they've been really good. Can they be a wee bit better on the ball? Probably. We're still only in the middle of pre-season.
Well, one moment where they were certainly doing some lovely stuff with the ball was the goal. I mean, it was really nice right in front of us, down here in front of the empty West Stand today because of the work that's going on. But a really good goal from Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and it all came down the right-hand side, didn't it, Simon? In our marauding ringer centre-back Joe Rodon.
Well, we saw this many times last season, didn't we, where wing-back gets it and outside centre-back, so either the left or the right-hand side, on this particularly on the right-hand side, do the overlapping. And you could, where we were sat, we could hear Joe Rodon saying to Jayden Bogle, play me in, and he gets in there. And what you got to do is you got to make sure you keep your composure, put it into a lovely area, and DCL's on the move, and he gets in there and a lovely finish.
I think that is the benefit when you play that system. I was speaking to you off air, Simon, about when you play a 3-4-3, sometimes I find myself in that position under Marcelo at times, and Luke Ayling was the right centre back. I was sort of right of a midfield four, and then you had Rafinha, and Rafinha liked to stay out wide, so it was hard for me, which is now Jayden Bogle there. So that relationship between Jayden and Joe and Harry, that was on this side, Wilson, he had gone inside, which allows Jayden to receive the ball, which allows Joe to do the overlap and run. So I think them combinations, them relationships already, are huge when you play that. But it's a great goal, great team goal, and Calvert-Lewin, middle of the 6-yard box again, where you want your centre forward to be.
I mean, it's pre-season, but from a striker's point of view, it's always nice to have the feeling of putting the ball in the back of a net, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Look, strikers are confident players more than anybody, really. You get the first one, you hope that it carries on. You don't want him to peak too many and get too many pre-season, then they dry up in the start of the season. So
don't be saying that, Si.
No, but your glass is always half full and sometimes a little bit half empty. But look, it's a great team goal, and it's a great finish from his perspective as well.
And it's nice to see that Leeds are going to. These games kind of give you a glimpse as to what Leeds will be trying to do this season, don't they, Stu? So to see that kind of move flowing like that at this point is always good on the eyes.
Especially in the second 30 minutes, I keep forgetting where we are in the game. But the second 30 minutes, they had a couple of moves down that right side as well. You had the ball into Wilson, who led it till Ampadu, and they got them up the field again. So it's great when it comes off, but I think first and foremost, defensively, they've got to be sound, they've got to be stable, have a good structure behind them, and then that allows you to then play that impressive football. And we've seen some glimpses of it, and it's only going to get better the longer we go on.
Coach, you have all the patterns of play that you want to do, and as you get better players into your squad, you're able to do them to more precision as you go along, and you build better players. So I think that's what we've done, bringing in the likes of Harry Wilson. I'm just getting wet a little bit here.
You're right, mate. You're okay there.
Building better quality gives you better opportunities.
Okay, let's just bring in a guest of ours here today. He's here with us and with Red Bull as well. Is Tex, the FC esports player. Where are you, Tex? Come and join us here. Really great to have you here today. How are you doing? All right, nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. How much are you enjoying your time here at Elland Road today? You've basically been outside and people have been challenging you to play FC. Has anyone even scored against you?
2 people scored against me, but a lot of the people playing are like 40-year-old dads that haven't played for like 10 years, So as a professional, I should be winning.
Absolutely. What's it been like down here at Elland Road?
40-year-old dads.
There's nothing wrong with 40-year-old dads, but
Rich. We're in that bracket, aren't we?
So,
don't take it personally, Stu. It's sorry. He wasn't having a direct dig, were you?
Bad now, I want to apologise. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll put it to the test. You can have
56-year-old granddad.
Yeah. We'll put it to the text. You can have a game later against Tex. Have you enjoyed it down here at Elland Road as well? It's a fantastic atmosphere, and you must be enjoying it.
Yeah, it's good down here. It's always good watching pre-season. Every pre-season game that happens, it's one step closer to the season, so you can get excited for that.
Because you represent the club in esports, you've been doing pretty well. Was it the final you got to in the last champs? Or is it too tough to speak about?
Don't get me started. We made the final and then we lost in extra time of the final. I conceded in like the 87th minute equaliser, and I lost extra time. But hopefully next year we can win that one.
You need to have a chat with Daniel Farker. Maybe that's seeing out games.
I need it. I definitely need it. I've had 3 major tournaments this year. I've been knocked out. Extra time, penalties, so I need a bit of something.
Don't worry, it's quite Leeds. It's all good. What is it like representing this great club, in the esports area, to get that call, like you're the guy to step up and be our guy?
It's always fun to represent a Premier League club. I think what was so good about Leeds and what is so good is that you get like a bit of a fan base online that see it, and like you wouldn't expect like people to be into FC competition, but they'll see it on Sky Sports, and all of a sudden I'm getting messages from like random Leeds fans wishing me luck. So it's always nice to feel a part of the team.
What's your next tournament? What's in store?
Next in store, I qualified for an England tournament yesterday, so I'm representing England at a tournament called E-Nations. So yeah, that's the next one for me in like November.
Fantastic stuff, guys. Anything for Tex before he shoots off? You got your apology from Tex. So do you ever play a bit, Stu, or
FIFA?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. My kids play it. Costing me a fortune on Ultimate Team, to be fair. So if you get any good deals with EA or anything, let me know.
I spend too much money on Ultimate Team, way too much money. My mum always looks at my bank account and she's like, what are you spending your money on?
Would you have someone like Stuart Dallas in your team normally?
Oh, never.
Too slow. You need fast players in the FC, don't you?
You're digging a hole for yourself here, Tex. What can I say? Listen, for anyone who's watching, any FC players out there, give them a little tip. Who are the best Leeds players to get in there?
A little tip. Genuinely, it's a bit of a boring one, but just enjoy yourself. Because like when I don't enjoy myself, I'm really bad. I'll lose to anyone. But if I'm smiling and having fun, like I enjoy it way more. So don't break your controllers, don't break your monitors, just have fun.
Yeah. Well, we've loved having you here. Stu in his 40s as a dad, and me in my 40s as a dad and grandpa over here. It's been great chatting to you. Enjoy the rest of the day, man. Thanks for coming in, and good luck with the next tournament. Text everyone. Sorry to the dads, he says as he leaves. Just part of all the stuff going on here with Red Bull, and if you missed Stu with the BMXs and stuff, you've still recovered from that just about?
Yeah, just about. He's just had me off twice now, so it's been a tough day for me.
Off there on screen.
It's all right doing what he does, but he wants to get in the dugout for a proper life.
We enjoyed it, and of course he'll be representing Leeds United. Right, let's get back to this game as well. I want to talk about Sean Longstaff, actually. I think we'd take a look at his touch map here during this first 60 minutes of the game. Sean Longstaff's didn't get as many minutes probably as he would have wanted last season, Stu. He could potentially play a big part this year. He's certainly played a lot in pre-season.
He's certainly been one of the standout performers, I think, in pre-season so far in the games that he has played in. And listen, we know the quality that Sean brings to the club. He's a proven Premier League player, and he probably a bit frustrated last year. He didn't play as much as he would have liked. I know he picked up an injury, and then he found it difficult to get back in because of how good the midfield was performing. So he'll be hoping for a good end of pre-season and hopefully a role in the starting 11.
As a manager, previous manager side, you've got an idea, I guess, of what that squad's going to look like, what that starting 11's going to look like, and there's opportunities for players in pre-season to catch the eye potentially.
Yeah, definitely. Look, every manager thinks about this, that, and the other system you're going to play, but ultimately it's what you see on the pre-season games and what you see on a daily basis. Who's got the right attitude? Who's playing with confidence? And you look at Sean Longstaff for an example, probably been one of our best players so far. Was really unfortunate last year, but he's got that experience of what the Premier League's about, but also he's got a determination to get into that team which is going to push the likes of Ampadu, Stach, Tanaka, whoever when he comes back from injury as well. I think we've got some real good options in that area.
We heard from Muharemović, the new signing before the game. What have you made of him, Stu? He looks like he's very composed on the ball. There was one moment where he moved forward to the edge of the box and everyone was going, shoot. He thought about it for a second and then
he was on his right foot.
But that suggests that maybe he's got something in the locker in those positions. But what have you made of him?
He's looked really comfortable. It's my first time seeing him live for Leeds. But again, off air, we have the benefit of sitting up here and watching them, looking down on them, and some of his passing, he sees passes, he's breaking the lines in the midfield, and that's really, especially against a team like this when their counter press is so high, so fierce. As soon as they turn the ball over, straight away they're counter pressing. So he's able to pick them passes and beat the press, and that gets you out. But he played one in the second 30 over till James Justin, and you were raving about it, Sam, weren't you, about how good his left foot is?
He made a tackle down in the bottom corner there, right in front of the south stand, which that south stand on any particular day they love a challenge, don't they? And he made this sliding tackle, so having been impressed by him, and I'm sure he's only going to get better the more minutes he has with his teammates.
Just very quickly, because the players are coming back out now, Harry Wilson will start the next 60 as well. We haven't really had that much chance to speak about him. We've spoken about Muharemović and James Trafford coming in, but what did you make of glimpses that nearly scored a goal, just didn't quite keep it under the bar?
Yeah, he obviously, I think he went at it with his right foot just over the bar, and we've seen a few glimpses of him. He probably hasn't got on the ball as much as he would have liked, as much as we'd have liked to see him. He's tried a couple of passes, and that's the type of player he is. He takes risks with his passing and with his ball play, and so hopefully we get a bit more of him here in the second half.
Yeah, in terms of the team for the second half, Kenzie starts in goal once again. Bogle, Rodon and Justin, and Muharemović also. It's Bijol who'll come in right at the centre of that defensive partnership. Ethan Ampadu stays in, but alongside him we've got Anton Stach coming in and Tanaka, and then we'll also see Brendan Aaronson and Nmecha up front. So a few changes, but plenty of players starting this 60.
Well, exactly. We've got lads that were key players last year. Stach, we're looking to kick on, Tanaka, etc. So, yeah, we're going to be interested to see how this second half of 120 pans out.
Don't tangle yourself up, there's no point. Right, here we go then. It's time for the second 60. We'll head to our gantry and your commentary team, Brindle, Tony Dorigo and Johnny Cooper with us today.
So here we go. Ding ding. Seconds out. Round 2. Leeds United with a number of changes, not a complete change to the starting 11, as you will be no doubt noticing, as will been discussed. So Wilson will get a bit more game time, Bogle will get more game time, and Justin also, and Muharemović, and of course Alex Cairns still stands between the sticks and gets the second touch of the second part of this 2-hour pre-season extravaganza. When you look at the Leipzig side, haven't completely changed things around themselves either. And so in terms of the players they've got on at the start of this period, start of the game, Graffer is one of those. Goalkeeper also still in between the posts, and he has a touch now. Tanaka. Justin Nmecha finds himself in a bit of space and onside. Gets to the byline. Inviting ball back into the middle. Stach arrives, but a little too late and a little too hard. And so the free kick is conceded.
So RB Leipzig there. They keep the ball really well, and then because we're putting on a high press, there's a big space. Certainly further up the pitch and harder. The number 9 for RB Leipzig is just trying to get hold of the ball, but Bijol is so strong at that sort of thing. He comes through, he wins the ball, and here again, there you see challenging him. He's certainly physical, difficult to play against. So good to see him out there and getting some minutes as well, because I'm sure he'll be an important player this season for Leeds.
Leipzig played Mal in their last warm-up game. It was a 120-minute meeting as well. Came out of that one with a number of injury doubts over players, and Wrights is one of those who's missed out because of that. Arnold was on target for them in that game. The man who's now operating up front for them in the number 9 shirt. Slithers in to try and win the ball back for Leeds, and Bogle follows him and falling over. Bogle was fouled. Not Bogle, sorry, Justin was fouled, and Leeds have a free kick.
Yeah, Justin's gone from left wing back to right-sided centre half. Just once again showing his versatility.
So Bijol back in action for Leeds United. Good sight for Leeds United supporters. His first involvement of this pre-season period.
Justin had a word with Gnonto there, because Gnonto always just walked into him again. It was a late challenge earlier, and they're still having a little tete-a-tete. Yeah, referee getting involved now as well.
Fell back into his own half to Chiabu. Harder. Lienou operating down that left-hand side for Leeds United. We saw him at length in the pre-season games in America. Welsh under-21 international. Also been a part of the senior squad as well. Konate. Baku across the field. Gaffer lost out to Tanaka, did well, stood his ground, got his foot in. A little touch there on the back of Nmecha as he was trying to get forward. Referee didn't see anything wrong with that.
He had no support whatsoever. Just trying to draw a foul, but eventually Leeds win throwing down this right-hand side.
Bogle trying to work out what to do with it. Doesn't find either Nmecha or Wilson. Orban now wearing the captain's armband for RB Leipzig. Sebald out to his right. Konate is the target for the long ball. Anticipate that Daniel Farke will opt to make some more changes probably fairly shortly. For those who've already played the hour, Wilson being one of them. Nmecha rides a heavy challenge there from Chiabu.
Yeah, but Chiabu looks a solid defender. We're running into him too often.
Defender who formerly at PSG. Almost a wonderful ball from Muharemović there, and he's a little frustrated in his reaction afterwards that it didn't find its intended target quite.
Muharemović tried the same, didn't he, in the first half, and it almost came off, but just those raking passes, really useful.
Move at pace into the Leeds half now. Leipzig trying to work it past the fullback. Sani keeps the ball, has to head back towards the halfway line. Elmas with a little touch, back on the ball again. Graffer, and now Konate. Konate telling him where he wants it to go. And I don't think he and Fingraffer were quite on the same wavelength there, even despite the conversation.
No, when you delayed, he's going to run himself offside, which he did.
They've become a club with a really good reputation for developing talent. RB Leipzig, finding young talent from all around Europe. Konate probably comes under that heading for them as well. 17 years old. Ref scuffs his pass across the pitch. Lienou intercepts for Leeds United. Sani's cross drops behind onto the roof of Alex Cairns' net, shielding his eyes from the sun there, the Leeds goalkeeper.
As expected, all a little disjointed, isn't it, to start with here? Both sides just trying to really get some sort of rhythm. The two 11s wouldn't have played with each other very often at all, if at all.
Nmecha takes it high on the chest. Getting into the path of Bogle, quite. Tanaka does well. Wilson has the chance to shoot. It's actually a really good block made by Orban.
That was Wilson's chance, wasn't it? Had plenty of time as well. Eyed it up, but Orban got in the way, unfortunately.
Ball is back with Bijol. Cairns just taking more than a moment to work out the best move next. Bijol under pressure, back to Cairns. Konate busy up front. Cairns chips it past him, and then pressure on Bijol. Sees the ball out over the touchline, but it was the Leipzig man who had the final touch, so Leeds United throw in. And we've played nearly 12 minutes of the third quarter of this game. Leeds have had the one opportunity. Tanaka. Bogle. There's another here. The chase is on. Great run from Aaronson. And he just rolls the ball wide. And Brendan Aaronson, having made a really good run, will be a little frustrated that he couldn't at least get that on target.
Well, some wonderful first touch passes, wasn't it, down this right-hand side. When the ball gets played into Aaronson, he's clean away from the centre half, and he steadies himself, and really it's a poor finish because you have to at least hit the target, get it on the goal and make the keeper make a save. Instead it was a good yard or two wide.
So Leeds with the two chances that we've seen, that the better of the two. Both presentable. Muharemović lofts it in, lobs it in for Alex Cairns, who does a good job of taking it down there. And then Muharemović ball up the touchline, goes out for a Leipzig throw in. Foul throw.
5 seconds.
Oh, 5 seconds, correct.
Yeah.
Just saw an example of that last night in the game I was at. First one I've seen so far this season. Could be the same here if
I
we're not
know.
careful.
Just throw it in.
Just keep. Nobody gets to throw in. I'm just waiting for the first instance where a goalkeeper goes down in the Premier League. See what happens next. They've taken steps to try and avoid what we saw on a number of occasions with games involving Leeds United last season, the tactical injury.
Yeah, that was frustrating, wasn't it? Many a time. And more so, I think, at certainly away to Man City, when all of a sudden now changed to a back three, bamboozled them, and the mighty Donnarumma goes down with an injury. He recovered though, so don't worry, everything was okay.
Yes, he saw the game out.
Yeah.
Now we speculated about potential changes, and we are about to see them as well. So Harry Wilson goes off to good applause here, and Callum Mills gets more minutes, having enjoyed good game time out in America. And Leipzig fans are going to see the return here of Elland. Elland in his second spell now with the football club. Big star at the World Cup with Norway. Very experienced goalkeeper. And he marks his return to the Leipzig ranks in this game here at Elland Road. He has played against Leeds United previously for Aston Villa in the game where Villa were 2 up and Leeds came back to win 3-2. Good shuffle and change of balance there. It's from Sani. And ultimately a foul on Stach.
I think of the youngsters that Leeds United played on their US tour as well. Mills at times looked very comfortable on the ball. I think it's fair to say he's a bit of growing to do. Once he puts on a bit more muscle, yeah, there could be a player there, because yeah, good touch, good awareness of things around him as well.
He's 17 years old as well, so one to watch. Here's Bogle. Nice ball into the path of Nmecha. Nmecha will try the shot. Comes back for Aaronson. Nmecha again. And Aaronson again. Bogle lifts it up. Good ball into the middle. Lienou was waiting. His header was blocked en route to goal. Live look at Leeds United as well. Lienou holds off the challenge, gets it back to Muharemović, and then Nmecha flicks it off the chest, trying to get the ball into the path of Callum Mills. Good effort. Was a little frustrated when the ball cannoned off him and out for a throw-in.
He's forming a Napoli man. Hopefully he'll get plenty of minutes here.
Bogle into Nmecha. Goes down under the challenge of Orban. Taken down by Lienou. Almost into the path of Mills, the two academy guys. He was linking up there for Leeds United. But there is a chance for Leeds to get the ball here with Aaronson. And Aaronson had the shot, took a deflection. Behind he goes for the corner.
Had options for Nmecha on the right. Instead he took an extra touch. Got blocked in the end, but now set pieces. This time, Anton Stach with a man over the ball.
With a pause for Anton Stach as he heads towards the corner to provide the set piece for Leeds United. We saw some great set pieces from Stach last season. Trying to deliver another here. Nice shape on that one. Headed away as far as the edge of the area. Aaronson kept his shot down well. Callum Mills rushed it a little. Nmecha. Here's Aaronson again. Good ball into the middle. And it's scuffed clear only as far as Muharemović, and he tries a little shuffle movement from left to right there. Doesn't quite come off.
He tries something that the centre half should never try.
He's definitely not in the coaching manual. Suddenly Konate finds himself with the chance to run into the penalty area. Just touches it back inside, but Tanaka's waiting. Plays the ball out to Brendan Aaronson. Talk about crowd favourite. A little bit of defending, pass out. Your name is ringing out around Elland Road. Mills, good play. Well, there's confidence there, isn't there, in both of those movements?
Yeah, confidence. Maybe a bit of confidence. Actually, it was a foul. I think he got grabbed on the shoulder as well, but I like to see it. I like to see that. Why not?
Well, he'll be enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Aaronson, now Bogle. Tries the shot.
He tried to cross.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that was. You're right. It's hard to pick out what it was, but that's the sort of area where you just need the composure and then to pick it out. But yeah, got that one all wrong.
We are into the 22nd minute in the third quarter. And for the likes of Jayden Bogle and Muharemović, the game goes on. Elland. Welcome to Elland Road. Konate. Orban. The captain. Harder. Offside. Sani came back, but not quickly enough. And a good line held by Leeds there.
Certainly was. I think the player I missed out of talking before this particular quarter had started of you know how important it is. It's Tanaka as well, because he finished the season extremely well, and he'll be wanting one of those midfield spots as well. So good to see there's competition all over the park, but certainly in midfield with Longstaff, Tanaka and Stach trying to get in alongside Ampadu. It's a hot competition there.
Bijol spreads it out to the right to Justin. Another one of those who's still on the pitch here. Deep into the third quarter of this one. Quite enough height on that from James Justin. Comes in to try and get the ball off Harder. And then Konate, Tanaka. Muharemović. Back to another player involved in the World Cup. Tanaka, now Bogle. Aaronson made the run for him. Cross didn't quite come off. Well, it did come off. It came off the defender. And out for a Leeds United throw-in. Obviously the only opportunity all afternoon, even despite the length of the game, for Leeds to take a throw-in this sort of position. And there's no Ethan. But there is an owl. Hold on a second.
Here we go.
What are we watching here? I know that it's a familiar build-up. Okay.
Ethan, all is forgiven.
I'm going to say a little bit of work needed. Certainly got the height. Let's put it that
Let's
way.
go with that. Oh.
Loose ball. Easy possession conceded. Konate. Elmas with a short square ball. Stach will try to work his way through the challenges there. Felled by one of them.
Seavold with a late challenge. Stach didn't have much room to work in, but managed to get the ball out, but not himself.
5 minutes remaining before we have the final energy break. Tanaka successful in his challenge. Lienou down the left for Leeds United. And the roar goes up as Mills is ahead of him. Mills goes over, looks to the referee. Crowd appeal, nothing doing. I think Stach has exacted perhaps some retribution.
Gruder felt the force of Anton Stach there.
Orban will go with the long ball. And ultimately defended well. Sani trying to put pressure on Lienou, but Leeds man held up and the ball sailed out. Bogle pushes to ground, holds his ankle as he lands as well. And Daniel Farker felt that there was a free kick maybe there for Leeds. Jayden Bogle indicates that he is of a similar mind. Nieland. Good ball out, that from the goalkeeper. What a hit that is. Sani's into the penalty area. Tanaka with the defensive clearance. Baku. Seavold. Now there's a counter-attack potential for Leeds if they can get out quickly. Well, Nmecha couldn't hold on to the ball. Konate. Shot is sliced wide, and Leeds will be grateful for that. Jayden Bogle does the defender's job.
Anything you can do, I can do better. If you want to have a bit of a slice, I'll just wheelie one up into the stand. So all round pretty poor play. RB Leipzig there, almost coming onto the ball in that sort of area. He's got ability, no doubt, but couldn't show it in that instance.
So plenty of chances in the game, but still just the one goal across the entire piece. The scoreboard actually shows 0-0 for this, which is, I guess, the second game, effectively. But I think ultimately we'll reflect on the overall score, which currently stands at 1-0 to Leeds. Seems a long time ago. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Actually, it was a long time ago.
It was. That's why.
Kanate claps, but there's no way he was ever going to keep that one in play. Just into the feet of Aaronson. Can look up. There was movement to his left, but went through the middle. Fouled as he did so. And in the last few seconds of the third quarter, Leeds have an opportunity perhaps to play a ball into that Leipzig penalty area.
Yeah, it'll be one or two tired legs as well. James Justin, Bogle, who've played the whole lot so far. Muharemović as well.
Stach swings it in, headed clear as far as Mills. Referee has a look at the watch as it comes back in from Mills, and there was James Justin.
Offside.
The flag was raised as he was a swing on the crossbar. Surely now he gets his rest. All the rest around him get to head towards the touchline, and we have the final Red Bull energy break of the afternoon, and Leeds United head towards the touchline, having created much the better moments in that period of play that we've just watched. We'll have a word with Johnny now to reflect on the last half hour first. Anything that emerges from what we've seen so far?
I want to say yes, but I can't say too much. There's not been too much going on there. I was just going to touch on James Trafford, and to be honest, obviously we wanted to see him today, but he wouldn't really have had much to do today, so we probably wouldn't have had too many stats on him. But just to reflect on the signing, 29 clean sheets in the Championship for Burnley in that one season, which was a Championship record. He made a save percentage of 84.5%, which was the best we've got on record at Opta. In fact, the second best was Elland Meslier in the season when he replaced Kiko Casilla at the end of the season, funnily enough. And these are like unbelievable numbers and great records, and it feels like every club he's played for, he's broken a record. He's been incredibly popular, so you would hope he's going to be our #1 goalkeeper for years to come. I know we've said that a few times over the years. Last season when he was playing for Man City, obviously he was more of their FA and League Cup goalkeeper, but he had the second best save percentage of any goalkeeper in all competitions, 75.5%. And then just to compare that with our goalkeepers, the Leeds goalkeepers, Carl Darlow was 9th, Lucas Perry was 29th, so we're upgrading from our first choice last season was the 29th best save percentage, and now we've got the second best in all competitions. So, I mean, Tony will be able to tell us better than I will, but having a great goalkeeper behind you must give you a lot of confidence, and I think that's what Trafford will do for the defence next season.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and once you know that you've got a goalkeeper and you know exactly what he's going to do, his decision making is good. I think what I like about James Trafford as well is 23 years of age. He's hungry. He wants to be a #1. He wants that England spot, and he's come to a team which is on the up. But for the defenders, to have that sort of goalkeeper behind you, yeah, it's very comforting indeed.
Do they compile stats around what goalkeepers do with their feet these days as well as what they do with their hands?
They do. You're asking me now and I've not got the stats in front of me, that's always going to happen. But yes, we do, yeah. And he is he is a very good goalkeeper with his feet. I mean, obviously we changed the system last season, which was to go much more direct, but today Alex Cairns, I presume he has been told, but I don't think I've seen him knock any long passes really. He's just been, even when he's been closed down, he's been very, very calm and just been trying to play out from the back, so I presume that's going to be the same for Trafford.
Do we have any numbers in terms of RB Leipzig and the success in terms of their opposition in preventing them scoring goals? Or even clean sheets against?
I can have a look for you.
That's a good answer. I always ask the difficult questions because I'm reflecting on the fact here that they haven't really created an awful lot across the piece now, have they, in this game?
You're absolutely right, and I think clearly they're very good technically. You can see they have a lot of possession, but of course what we do know, the business end of the pitch is where it all happens, and one of their star players, the star player, Diamonde, who could produce in that last third, has just gone for how much? 120 million or something to Real Madrid. So they've lost that bit of inventiveness, and clearly they'll be looking for a bit more.
Yeah, I think just in terms of their attacking numbers from last season, they were second for XG, second for shots, third for shots on target, second for touches in the opposition box, but we haven't seen any of that today. Now, obviously, there's the new manager, or whether it's just pre-season, but last season, it's very hard to come up with Bayern Munich in anything, the league table or the stats. I mean, Bayern Munich scored 122 goals last season, so they've had to do well to finish above that. But the other numbers, the shots, touches in the opposition box, they were, the best of the rest. But we haven't really seen that today.
So that reflects positively on what Leeds have done.
Well, I was about to say, because you look at the wide men that they put out there, and they look skillful and quick, but I think our wing-backs have dealt with them very, very well. So that supply line has gone. Sometimes they're trying to go direct and long to the centre forward, but again, our central defenders, I think, have got there first. So they're struggling in that last third to get any fluidity. A couple of shots they had from outside the box, but that's about it. So you're right. I think that reflects well on our defence.
And I would anticipate that Diamande money will surely be reinvested in this Leipzig squad before the big season's kick-off. Borussia Mönchengladbach providing opposition in the first Bundesliga fixture for RBL.
And we are both available if they would like.
If required. I'm not quite sure that our numbers are good enough these days, TD.
Now, this is an interesting one. Gnonto is on. He will be disappointed, because I'm sure he would have liked to have started the second part of this game instead. He's had to wait to this time. He gets half an hour, and it's these sort of moments where he really needs to shine to remind Daniel Farke of what he can do.
Got a really good ovation or welcome from those in the East Stand as he arrived. He's a really popular character around the place. He's a great guy, but he's got a big job to do, I think, over the coming weeks as the season start looms. He desperately would want to be involved for Leeds United. One of the changes there sees Cresswell on for Leeds defensively. So Muharemović gets his rest. And all those who began the game now. Cairns. Alex still out there. Veteran goalkeeper.
Could that be a record for Cairns, the longest game someone's played? He'll go 2 hours plus.
Well, he desperately... he's at the point now where he very much wants the clean sheet, doesn't he?
Oh, for sure.
Neat play. Bijol across the back to Cresswell. Lienou with the attempt to get forward. Tanaka in the midfield. Much more youthful look to this Leeds United side now. Aaronson with the experience. Turns the ball to his right. Comes back into Brendan Aaronson. And then Gnonto's offside as he squared it. Callum Mills will be disappointed as he looks across the line and sees that flag raised. Would have been a big moment for the young player.
Certainly would have done. Excellent ball from Gnonto, but just moved too early. And the Leipzig back line just held their ground and got the Leeds man offside.
Harder. Cresswell got the foot in. And you're back to Bijol. Calvert-Lewin still the one player who's recorded the successful strike on target in this game. Stach. Sit on to Mills. Just a little bit short. Gave Lienou too much to do. Leeds have a throw in. Aaronson. Stach saw the opportunity to try and cross, couldn't get past the defender, Orban. Real good battle, ends up with Leeds United on top. Ruda lost possession to Tanaka. Aaronson. It's tight in there. Nmecha. Back for Mills, who's done really well. And again. Ball just offered up on the right side of the penalty area for the cross in. Gnonto gets in first. Squares the ball. And it needs an important block to prevent that one, causing Leipzig a real problem. Leeds do end up with a corner.
Yeah, it's a lot of close control in there. Chadwick on that far side did well when he fired the cross in. Eventually drops to Gnonto. Once again trying to do the same, but corner kick is one. Anton Stach takes the applause on the far side, and he'll be delivering it in.
Quite so much height in the Leeds United side at the moment, but what can they do with this? Well, Bijol gets on the end of it. Elland high above Willie Gnonto. Game as ever.
That didn't quite seem right, did it? Gnonto trying
winner
to challenge the keeper.
Ball surely out of play. Yes, it is. Just rolled off the foot of Thomas there. Dolly Thomas, the Dutch player, wins the ball back again for Leipzig. Seewald. Bijol with a header. And it's Leipzig who have the throw in. Anton Stach lifts it away from the edge of the box. Mills makes a successful block. Baku with a throw. Lienou couldn't find Mills. Elmas. And back into Chiabu. Orban. Sani. Leipzig are the two teams, probably the one with a little greater experience out there at this stage. Pushing Leeds back. Great work from Stach, though. Fine challenge. And now Gnonto has the chance, perhaps, of a little run here. Chadwick pushes past. Gnonto pushes into the path of Aaronson. Now Chadwick. It's a good ball. Oh, Mills. That was a real chance. And he knows it. It was really good approach play down the right side. And a great ball in from Chadwick.
And Mills should have done better. Saw it come onto his foot as well. Yes, it came quickly, but just needed an instep to guide it goalwards. Instead, just clipped the back of his heel, mistimed it, and the chance goes begging.
Moving forward, Sani. Need to get enough bodies around the ball to regain possession. Sani stays down. Referee keeps an eye on it, but the game goes on. Well, it did. Now it stops. Sani is still on the floor. So the medical team are on. Further treatment will be required. Players get the chance to head back towards the touchline for more of the all-important fluid intake. So it's an unofficial energy break.
Yeah, and there Daniel Farke was talking to Lienou. Something he saw then that he wasn't, quite happy about. I like that, giving him, instant feedback. The young man will certainly, learn from that.
One of those players who no doubt will hope that he can. We saw him on the bench a couple of times towards the end of the season. Who can make the step? It's a heck of a step to make these days from academy level into first team football, when clubs are all about going out into the market and buying new talent. The art of creating new talent remains important. Here's another one who will hope to do similarly, Mills and Cresswell as well. Familiar name in Cresswell, with a dad and a brother who both played for a club. Brother has just signed for Rennes, hasn't he? Tanaka, good ball to Mills. Stach picks up the loose ball. Bijol to Chadwick and back again. Crisp pass into Aaronson. Low cross just beyond the outstretched leg of Lucas Nmecha. And there was some incisive approach play from Leeds United there, and close to bringing the club a second goal.
And that was frustrating because that actually wasn't a difficult pass, but Nmecha was never getting on the end of it. Again, the idea was good. He got into a great area, Aaronson, but then just deliver that final pass, and that was way too hard and in front of him.
Stach, Chadwick, back to Cairns. Gnonto with a short pass into Tanaka. Now Cresswell. Bijol to Aaronson. He's been busy, Brendan Aaronson. Played a really important part in that comeback against Liverpool. Stach tried to go through the gears there, and then perhaps in frustration just clips the heels of Baku. Tanaka sticks to his man Elmas, and then it's back with the goalkeeper Elland. Baum turns it to his left. Again, the press is good from Leeds. Again, working hard in there, Brendan Aaronson. And actually, it sees Leeds win the ball back in a really good position. And Gnonto loses it. Now Leeds are under pressure. It's 3 against 2 as Leipzig race up the pitch and into the penalty area. And the shot is curled over the top from Sani. Well, Gruder did all the hard work carrying the ball forward there. And then when it broke to Sani, he couldn't keep it anywhere like on target.
Well, you're right. Gruder did brilliantly well initially, but then it was a little greedy because it was 3-on-2. He'd driven through the middle. That was the time then to release it to his teammate instead. He managed to get a block on it, and the chance eventually was put wide.
Cairns in no great hurry. Chadwick. Good control. Tanaka. And Cresswell. Bijol. Nice ball. Leipzig preparing another change down below. Lienou puts his ball into the middle, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Felt there was a foul in the moment of delivery there. The referee didn't see it that way. Given away, Tanaka. And this will be chance for Aaronson to chase, but he was actually offside when the ball flicked off the defender's foot.
He then reacted to go chasing after the ball. Just needed to stop. Instead, he was given offside.
So the change is made, and the man who's coming on here is Gertrude, who we saw playing for Sunderland last season. And here he is in the colours of Red Bull Leipzig. 30 games on loan with Sunderland last season, but opted not to stay. Orban. Brown now has room to run into. Tucked it into the penalty area. Cresswell clears. Elmas. Sevald. Brown pops up wide. Cresswell just lost track of Harder there. Thomas, and then it comes out to this near side. Rodon. Orban, and there's room here for Baku to play in. Gertrude. Sevald, a player who is busy in the World Cup with Austria. 4 appearances for him in the tournament.
Once again, RB Leipzig excellent in possession, get plenty of bodies forward, they get wide, they get it through, but that end product they just can't seem to find either Harder in the box or one of their supporting players to really go and open Leeds United up.
That's why I was interested in what Johnny had to say in that last interval in terms of what they usually do in games. Is this it? And I don't think it is. Leeds have nullified them largely as an attacking threat. And so that all-important only goal of Dominic Calvert-Lewin is still separating these two teams. Here's Aaronson trying to add to it. Now Gnonto from the byline. Good ball back in! How about that? Lovely finish from Lucas Nmecha. Great approach play from Leeds United. Opened up Leipzig. And Leeds United make it 2-0 overall. 1-0 in this part, and it was a goal to enjoy.
It certainly was, and Nmecha, I love it. Initially, he goes for the run to the near post. He thinks Aaronson's going to put it in instead. He then checks back, and when it's given to Gnonto, he makes that run again, but this time had to be pulled back a bit further. Excellent ball from Willie Gnonto, and not an easy finish either, but a good contact from Nmecha into that bottom corner.
We've seen Lucas Nmecha. He's got a fine array of these types of finish, hasn't he? From close range, from an angle. He scored a crucial late goal for Leeds in the Premier League last season at the same end. And this group will be pleased that they've matched the efforts of the group in the first half of this game of 4 quarters. Orban, that's not a good ball. Almost set Nmecha up. Cresswell with a little nod down. Callum Mills. It's been 3 wins out of 3 so far in pre-season for Leipzig. Looks like that is about to come to an end here at Elland Road. Aaronson onside. Comes back again for Nmecha. And this time the ball bobbled just as he was shaping to hit it, and it went straight at the keeper.
I was actually waiting for the referee's flag to go up. It looked a little offside to me, but really good play down that right-hand side. And once again, Nmecha, like a magnet in the box, finds the space and gets the shot away.
Inside the final 10 minutes. And Leeds United have scored twice. RB Leipzig yet to notch. Now they're trying. Now they're on the go. And the ball runs into the penalty area. Needs dealing with by Willie Gnonto. He did the best thing in the circumstances. Just clear it into touch. He had Thomas waiting on his shoulder. And in the centre circle, Chiabu around, back to the central defender. Brown looking ahead of him now. Clip pass out to his left. Save out with Chiabu, and again. Still plenty of Leipzig possession in that Leeds half, but still haven't managed to get the ball into the penalty area yet, and thwarted their ambitions on that basis again there by combined presence of Aaronson, Gnonto, Chadwick. Uda infield, Nmecha back helping out. Not particularly good effect, but putting the effort in. Straight through the middle it goes. Uda blocked off by Cresswell, and then Cairns comes and happy to slide across the turf and gather the ball into the body. He knows he's in sight now, 7 minutes away from a 2-hour-long clean sheet.
And keepers and defenders will be certainly pleased with that sort of stat. So are managers, to be fair.
Well, yeah, that's part of this process, isn't it? It's both ends of the pitch.
Yeah, I think Demichelis will be a little disappointed of his team in that last third, just really not being able to produce, find space. And even, you know, one-on-one, you expect someone to take on the fullback and produce something. We haven't seen any of that.
Anton Stach, nice first touch into Aaronson. Lienou. Nmecha. Tanaka. Cresswell to Mills. Tanaka. Aaronson lofts it in. Nmecha takes it down. Still there. Well, he was looking for this spectacular volley, wasn't he? But Chiabu just got kind of in the way of him as he thought about it.
Yeah, not an easy ball to get under control, but he certainly made a good fist of it. And you're right, thought it was going to be a spectacular overhead kick, but not to be.
Chiabu to his left. Brown just puts it up and over the top, and Thomas has got away. He's on the run here, and he's into the area, and he's put it towards goal. And Alex Cairns stretches a leg out and makes the save. That was as good a sight as Leipzig have had of the Leeds United goal in this period.
It was. Chadwick just got caught underneath the ball, and then that ball over the top. Not quick enough to get back and in on that left-hand side. Cairns pulls off an excellent save.
He's out there to take this free kick now. Nmecha wins a good header. Chiabu, though, picks up the second ball. Mills goes in and just goes through the back of Raum. Stach high up the pitch, but they've played round him. Now they're looking forward. Cresswell's got across quickly. Good covering play from the young defender.
Nice, good anticipation. With the danger one.
Here's Aaronson to Mills. To come back on his right foot. Aaronson slides it into the middle to Gnonto. Gnonto. Great ball to Chadwick. Good cross as well. Nmecha was waiting. And Chadwick found good space down the right side of that Leipzig box and put another good ball in there.
Yeah, excellent ball from Gnonto as well to find Chadwick. And Orban almost sliced it into his own goal.
So Leeds have a late corner kick as we are now inside the final couple of minutes plus here. Nmecha stands on the keeper as Stach delivers. Cresswell off the crossbar. And then Gnonto's follow-up straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Well, that would have been a big, big moment there for the young Leeds player. Alfie Cresswell with a good header. Crashed off the crossbar.
Oh, excellent effort. Good ball in. And Cresswell, he's not the tallest of centre-halves, but he leaped really high there to get above the ball and just didn't creep in underneath the bar. I think Gnonto could have done a little better as well with the follow-up, but not to be.
Back with the keeper. Attendance inside Elland Road for this game today, a very impressive 24,630. Remember, it's a three-sided ground for the next couple of games. Well, this one and Augsburg. Leipzig really last opportunities perhaps for them. Bijol, that's a really good block from Cresswell, who read the situation, got across and got in the way of Bijol as he attempted to shoot on goal. Same player involved on the edge of the penalty area. Cross comes off the back of Anton Stach. Here's Nmecha. Aaronson is waiting through the middle, still waiting. Nmecha. Good play from Stach. Tried to make the best of a slightly bad job there. Wasn't quite the pass he wanted from Nmecha, perhaps. In the final few seconds, Gnonto against Thomas. Chadwick steps in as well. Bijol, if Leipzig are going to score, they have not very long to try and do. In fact, that interception from Mills may just about see Leeds United home here. Free kick is given, and we've now moved past the hour mark.
So Gruder won the foul for RB Leipzig. Now, can they get a consolation goal?
Technically, I suppose it would make it 1-1 in this particular part of the game, of the event, of the fixture. I'm not sure. It's been a long day. Free kick from Raum. Played into the edge of the box, and there you go. Alex Cairns sees the ball behind. He's kept a clean sheet. Leeds United have scored twice across the piece in this one. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and then the ball into the middle for Nmecha in the final stages of the fourth quarter, and that means that Leeds United have come out on top against strong opposition here at Elland Road, no matter what the lineup. And I'm sure Daniel Farke will feel there has been much of a positive nature to reflect on as Leeds continue the process of building up towards the start of the Premier League season. It's finished here, Leeds United 2, RB Leipzig 0.
Yes, and certainly an excellent tempo to the game. There's no doubt that RB Leipzig didn't perform to their best, certainly in the last third. But at the same time, you have to commend Leeds United for, I think, defending extremely well. Looked dangerous, certainly on the break as well, but you need that bit of quality at both ends of the pitch, and I just thought Leeds United showed that. Excellent, obviously, first goal from Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Joe Rodon, the right-sided centre-half, flying down the right with that cross. So, superb play. All changed, and then, of course, the rhythm gets upset. But even so, I thought Leeds United defended extremely well. And that second goal, Nmecha deservedly gets his reward for another robust performance up top. But most importantly, doesn't look to be any injuries, and a really good workout for both sides.
We've had Johnny Cooper from Opta alongside us. Final reflections from you?
Well, we started off with, Leipzig had never conceded in the first 15 minutes of a game last season, and then we did it, and they only failed to score in 3 Bundesliga games last season, and we've kept a clean sheet. So, really good performance. Really pleased to see Nmecha get a goal there. He had the best minutes per goal or assist ratio for Leeds last season, so hopefully he can keep chipping in. And no German team's ever won at Elland Road in a European match. No, it's not a European match, but we're keeping proud traditions going today, so good victory for Leeds.
Excellent work, Johnny. You can come back. That was very helpful, and hopefully you've enjoyed the little addition of a bit more knowledge, a bit more information to the usual stuff. It's been a long old afternoon of football. We're going to have some feedback for you now, and the Leeds camp will be talking, but that will be in the hands of those who are watching on from down on the touchline. It's finished here, Leeds United 2, RB Leipzig 0.
Right then, we are full-time here, twice full-time here at Elland Roads. 2 goals for Leeds United against RB Leipzig. Stuart Dallas and Simon Grayson with me here pitch side. We're going to get Joe Rodon shortly for a chat. Hopefully Jayden Bogle's going to join us. We'll hear from the manager and plenty more as well as pre-season matches go. Simon, that's a kind of big tick in the box for Leeds there, a job well done.
Yeah, look, I think the first thing is that lots of minutes in the players' legs. Some played more than others. I think that's great that they've been able to get through. Looks like nobody's got through, not got injured throughout the game, which was good. And ultimately, 2 good goals, good opportunities created as well, and a clean sheet. I think it was a real positive afternoon for everybody connected with the club as well.
Yeah, Stu, from your point of view, you played in these matches. You know, it is about minutes, you said beforehand, and players coming through without any injuries. But to get the couple of goals, clean sheet as well, it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's important that you start to build a winning momentum. I think it's always important to win the games, but you know, as I said before, it's about getting through these games and getting minutes in the legs for the young kids coming in, showing the manager, showing the fans what they're capable of. And there's a couple of them obviously come on today and done really well, so they should be very, very pleased.
Yeah, it was nice to see a couple of the young lads come on, Chadwick and Cresswell and Lienou, and it was some good stuff. Mills as well.
Yeah, look, these lads have never played in front of 24,000 people as well, and that's a big test of the character who can handle playing at Elland Road, even though it's only a pre-season friendly. Are they able to carry the weight of the shirt? And 1 or 2 of them will have done well. Look, they're going to probably be a long way off the squad throughout the course of the season, but it's great for their development, being amongst the players, the first team lads, and Daniel's seen them up close and seen what they can do, so they can be very proud of themselves. And if they never get to kick a first team ball again at Elland Road, at least they've said they've done it already.
Well, hopefully they will. Hopefully they will, Sam.
Yeah, definitely.
We saw a couple of the new players as well. Harry Wilson, Tarek Muharemović come in, both getting minutes under their belt. I know you were pleased with some of the stuff you saw today, Stu.
Yeah, listen, again, you've got to understand where we're at in terms of pre-season. Guys coming in and not fully fitted them in as well. So I think the new lads that have come in, our first chance of seeing them here at Elland Road today, have done really well. Harry Wilson, obviously, we've seen glimpses of what he's going to bring, the creativity he's going to bring. And Muharemović at the back, he looks solid already, he's good. Yes, we've already talked about how good he is on the ball, but you know, defensively he's a good defender as well. You know, Simon touched on it here in the first half, the tackle down in front of the south stand. So we've seen that he's able to defend, and he really looks the part.
Yeah, and good opposition. You know, that was the whole point, wasn't it? We talked about wanting to have a team here that play with a high energy, and Leipzig do that, don't they? But Leeds cope with them pretty well.
Yeah, they did a lot. Cairns, he had a couple of saves that he had to make really good saves from, but other than that, over the course of 120 minutes, we weren't stretched too many times, and when we were, we got the numbers back. We made good blocks. We defended the 18-yard box really well. They're a week behind us as well in terms of when the season's time, but it's still a good test, and you can only do your best against a team that you're playing against, and that's what we've done today.
Yeah, got marching on together, ringing round at the moment. It's a sort of fairly low-key little lap of appreciation from the players as well going around, because, you know, supporters have come out today in the sunshine. They want to get back to Elland Road, but they've come to support the team. Well, it's been 120 minutes of football. We can just see Ethan Ampadu and Brendan Aaronson heading off at the moment, and the other players coming around. Good to see Anton Stach back on the pitch as well, and I think the fans have enjoyed what they've seen here today, Stu.
I think so. Look, you come here and you want to see goals, you want to see entertainment, and you know, ultimately you want to see your team win, and they've come away today seeing their team win 2-0, an opportunity to see some of the new lads, see some of the younger kids as well, and you know, it's been a good day all round for everybody.
We've got Joe Rodon joining us. You coming in? Joe, how you doing? You all right?
All right.
We saw you pointing at Jaden. We'll get him over here as well. Don't you worry about that. It's not just you. A lot of football today. How did you find that from a pre-season point of view? Good to get the minutes, get the win.
Yeah, it was good to be nice and back in front of the fans, and yeah, we know they're a top team, Champions League team, so we knew it was going to be a difficult game, but no, I thought we started strong and quick, and yeah, like we think, you know, the Premier League's the fastest in the world, so we want to come out with intensity, and I thought the boys did that.
You were involved in the first goal, of course. I believe that's your first assist for Leeds as a sort of marauding winger down the right-hand side there. Got in a great position, great ball from Jaden, and then you did your bit for Dom.
Yeah, stuff we've been working on. I think if we're playing the system, we got to be a bit more flexible, and I thought we kind of worked them out a little bit early on. They weren't kind of jumping and sliding, so yeah, we wanted to exploit the space, and yeah, it was a great ball from Jaden, and Dom, who he is, he's always in the box for the right position, and yeah, it was a good goal.
Your ball was pretty good as well.
Yeah, to be fair, it was Jayden put in the space, and to be fair, all I had to do, I knew Dom was going to be there, so it was kind of simple for me. But it was overall a great team goal, and yeah, delighted to contribute.
As one of the most experienced players here, how have you been able to manage the new players coming in? I know Harry Wilson is obviously close to you, and you've played with him at international level, but the other two lads coming in as well, are you going to be a big part in that?
Yeah, of course. I think obviously we spent a lot of time together in the States, so I think it's an amazing, I've said before, it's an amazing dressing room, so easy to come in, and it's credit to the boss as well, and of course Ethan. It's an amazing environment, amazing change room, so we want to make everyone feel as comfortable as possible straight away. And like you saw, the new signings, they've settled in very quickly, and long may it continue. And
what about the shout, Alex Cairns, England #1, eh?
Yeah.
Before James Trafford gets
to be fair, the boss is laughing at that. We don't want to get carried away with that one, but credit to him. Obviously with the situation, he's been brilliant for us at the start of pre-season, and it's credit to him.
Joe, I just want to ask you about Harry Wilson. Obviously, your international teammate. What can he bring for? Obviously, we know what he can bring, but for those watching, what kind of quality can he bring to the team?
I think people don't understand. He's such a smart player. He can play like 4 positions. So, for us to have a player like that who can, be so adaptable and play in loads of different systems, I'm sure, as you saw today, he'll pick up great positions and he'll bring goals for us as well. So, the more goals we can add to our game, I'm sure this team's going to be very dangerous, and hopefully have a successful season.
You say about a successful season. It's getting close now. 2 weeks today, it all gets underway. We've got another couple of friendly matches. Well, I don't know if we'll use the word friendly for Wednesday, but we'll call it that anyway. How are you feeling ahead of it? How is the preparation? It's been a long summer. A few players over to the World Cup as well. Everyone back together now. James Trafford joining. It all feels pretty good.
Yeah, of course it's been a bit of a slow start. The boys involved with the World Cup, but no, I think we've worked really hard, and it's been relentless the first 3 weeks. But like I said, we always want to be one of the fittest teams and most prepared teams. So it's looking good. We're building minutes, and 2 tough games ready to go into the season, hopefully firing.
Okay, good stuff. Look, it was 120 minutes worth of football, and you came and chatted to us. So that's what you call putting in a shift. So we'll let you go. Good to see you. Go well on Wednesday, and we'll speak to you soon. There you go, Joe Rodon, and I've just hang on a second. I'll get that back in a minute. Joe Rodon there, just talking about his experience. Si, you mentioned that he's got a role to play in terms of helping those players integrate with the rest of the squad.
Yeah, I think there's a leadership group here, and he's going to be a key part with Ethan Ampadu and others as well. And his versatility, you know what I mean? He can play as a centre-back in a back 4. You saw him overlapping as a 3, outside centre-back. Look, he knows the game, and he's got great pace as well, which you need if Daniel's going to play sometimes a man versus man and 1 versus 1s in key areas. So, expertise is good to have in the dressing room.
When you look at all the centre backs as well, they all look more comfortable in a back 3 than in a back 2. I think Joe looks really comfortable in a back 3. It allows him to go on them overlapping runs. You don't do that in a back 2 or in a pairing at centre back. So I think they all complement each other really, really well. But having obviously been in the dressing room with Joe as well, I know what he brings to the squad, and he's a big character in the dressing room. Yeah, and he was quick to compliment Daniel Farke for the environment that he's fostered over these last couple of years in particular, and you can see that, can't you? That's not something that you can make up, right? That's something that is tangible and exists within this squad.
Yeah, you want good characters in that dressing room, and that's part of your recruitment policy as well, that you don't just get good footballers, you need good people that you want to speak to one-to-one. You want to understand what makes them tick, what's the good points, the bad points, how you can improve them. So you do all that sort of research and then have meetings with the players before you sign them, and that sort of ticks every box. You get it all done, and I think Daniel and the recruitment staff so far in this, last year was really good. This year has gone really well. Hopefully there's going to be a few more to come as well.
It was interesting, Joe, talking about the flexibility they want to show if they're going to play this system, and the fact that he got himself in that position, that is something that they're going to look to do, Stu. He was being kind of modest about himself with the ball that he delivered, but he delivered it perfectly. Yeah, I think the flexibility is a huge part. Whenever you play that system, it is, because you can play a 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 or whatever it is, but especially when you do the 3-4-3, as I touched on at half-time, it's a really difficult formation to, especially if you're one of the outside men, a winger, or the outside of a forward 3. It's really difficult because you're always having to move off
other players. So we've seen for the goal, Harry Wilson drifts inside, Joe stays wide, Jaden gets a ball and plays Joe on the underlap sort of, and he's through. So you're always having to work game combinations. So I'm sure the manager's been working on that all of pre-season. I think the first couple of weeks have probably been more fitness related. I think now that you're getting towards the end of pre-season, the more games is when all the tactical aspect of it comes in, and he'll be working hard on that.
I think the good thing about the game today as well is that, I mentioned it briefly before, is that we didn't let the opposition have too many easy opportunities. Where when I watched the Sunderland game, I was working the Sunderland and Wrexham game, we conceded easy goals, to be fair. And Liverpool was 2 down at half time as well. Today didn't look like we were under any real pressure, and that's again the fitness levels, the level of quality.
Switch on a little bit more as you get closer towards the season.
Yeah, of course, and chopping and changing of the team doesn't help all the time in the early games, and you're still a little bit ring rusty as such. But then you're at home in front of 24,000. You know it's work mode. You're 2 weeks away from the start of the season, but it's good habits to get into for them opening 5 games of the season.
Let's take a look at that opening goal, which seems like a long time ago now. Let's be honest, doesn't it? The opening goal for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We've spoken to Joe Rodon and his part in that as well, and Jaden Bogle. But it was a really nicely worked goal, and this is the kind of stuff that they're going to try and do, Stu.
Yeah, it's just what we were talking about. Obviously, you see Joe recognises that Jaden's out wide, so he runs inside to then make the underlap and run. And you know, Calvert, he said to us there that he knew that Dom was going to be in the position, and that's where you want your centre forward between the 6-yard box, between the 2 posts, and he just has to lay it on a plate, and Dom does what he does best, and he scores. But we've seen throughout the game there was a lot of movements like this. Even the second goal comes from not quite the same, but we see was a Chadwick had the ball and he plays it to Gnonto and he cuts it back, but Gnonto makes a run into that space. So it seems to be a theme that they're trying to work on a lot.
These are the things that sort of Daniel and his coaching staff will be doing sort of most days. The patterns of play, defensive, playing out from the back when they get into middle sections, people dropping down if somebody's in a wide area, don't have too many out there, somebody will come inside. So all these things are work related every day that you go through as well, and it's really nice when you work on things, as Joe said, and they come off. And
that's what I was going to say. It must be, obviously, you being the manager here, it must be pleasing when you do see that. You know, your patterns of play work
and
out.
when you
don't,
then they're sat next to you on the bench and you bring them off.
Less enjoyable. But it was, him actually saying there in that simple way, I knew Don was going to be there. That is that understanding of if everyone does their jobs, you get goals like that, right? And it sounds easy. It looks easy when it happens, but there's a lot of work that goes into creating a moment like that.
Well, you only have to look at how many goals Calvert-Lewin scored from that mid between the posts. They know that if they put it into an area, he's going to probably be there more times than not. And I think he's underselling himself, Joe, there, because it's still a difficult ball to put in. He's got a defender running back. He's got a defender running with Calvert-Lewin, but also the goalkeeper as well. We've seen many a centre-back cross it behind the stands or not get it cut out or whatever.
Many a winger as well.
I was going to say, thought we'd set that one up for you.
No, but I was putting myself into that category as well, by the way.
We'll let you take that one. Let's look at goal number 2 that came in the back end of the game. And it was, like you say, another good goal. And actually, to get 2 forwards on the score sheet as well, Stu's always a good thing. But this was nicely worked.
Yeah, it's nicely worked again, and the pleasing thing for Daniel will be that the subs that come on all made a difference. We see here that Gnonto, he's just pointing, and when he gets into that position, you're thinking, can he pick somebody out? And the movement from the match is good because he's in and then he pulls out, and it's a good finish because it's sort of almost behind him when he makes contact with it. We see it again here. Is it Brendan that plays it? It's Brendan to Gnonto, and Gnonto pulls it back in the match. He has to stab
it's a
at
good
it.
finish, isn't it?
It's a great finish. But again, it's that underlap and run that we talked about. Gnonto getting into the position, and it's for Daniel. It's pleasing that these things are working.
Again, it's like the patterns of play that you do as a coach, as a manager, that when you get into the byline, more times than not, you're asking your players to make sure you pull it back because the level of difficulty getting it across normally gets blocked out. So you're making sure that it gets pulled back. That's where you got to have the understanding from the centre forwards, making that run, pulling out slightly. And getting the opportunity to get the finish off, and we saw that how well he did it. To be fair,
he's such a sort of fans' favourite, Willie Gnonto, isn't he? It was nice to see him involved in that, and actually involved in a lot of good stuff when he came on and when he contributed today, Stu, didn't he?
Yeah, Willie, he probably would have wanted to have played a wee bit longer today, but he's had to bide his time over even last season as well. But one thing we do know about him is the quality that he brings. And yes, he wants to be playing all the time, but when he gets an opportunity, it's important that he shows the manager why he should be playing, or why he's unhappy that he's not playing. And today he's come on, and when you're a wide man or you're an attacker, you're asking for end product, and he showed that today. He delivered the assist for the goal, and he had a few other bright flashes as well.
Well, I've always said this to players when I've been managing them, is that you can play your way out of my plans if you don't perform. You know what I mean? If you play really well, you play your way into it, but you can quickly play your way out of it if you don't have the attitude, you don't run around and affect the game, but also you don't show the quality that you're capable of doing. So Willie Gnonto, after today's performance, Daniel will be thinking, look, he showed the right attitude. See what happens on Wednesday with the team selection and what he's going to do, and next weekend as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll hopefully hear from Daniel Farke very shortly. As soon as he's ready, we'll bring him over for a quick chat. But these next two games coming up, what are we likely to see, do you think? Are we likely to see, is that the point where a manager goes, right, we're kind of in potential starting 11 territory here, at least to start the games? Is that what we're likely to see, Stu?
You need to ask the manager. I think so. I think obviously we'll see 90 minutes again anyway, which is a bonus. Yeah. But I think obviously the Manchester United game on Wednesday night, it's a good opportunity to play a really strong team. I think Daniel will be looking towards now the start of the season in terms of the team that he is going to play. Probably, he'll not want too much disruption in the next couple of games, I wouldn't think, in terms of bringing a lot of changes on too early in the game. So I don't know, Simon, what's your thoughts, obviously?
two games out from a season.
Yeah, look, I think given the level and who we're playing on Wednesday night, I would expect him to probably play near enough his strongest team, and maybe it's 70 minutes, 90 minutes for the team. But then it's a quick turnaround Wednesday, Saturday. I don't expect him then to play.
I think as a player, you want to be playing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If you think you're going to play, you want to be playing.
I'm thinking Wednesday night
I'm going to interrupt you from a former manager to the,
how you doing, mate? You
current
okay?
one. Daniel Farke joining us here. Hi, Daniel. How are you doing? You're all right. Great to see you. Well, here we are, a couple of weeks out from the season, and I guess today was a case of job done. You must be pretty pleased with what you've seen.
Yes, pre-season game, so I'm far away from over-interpreting it, but it's good. We have right now today 2 games, also the games before, 4 wins in a row in pre-season against good opponents, Sunderland, Liverpool, today 2 times against a team who competes for the German title, who is playing Champions League football. I think in both games we were the better side and also deserved to win this game, although it was competitive. So far so good. We're on a good path. We know this. We take also lots of confidence out of this. Today was definitely a good day, but we also know if we right now stop, then we won't be ready for Nottingham anyhow. So the real stuff begins just in 2 weeks' time. So we have a few steps to go, and for today I'm happy, but from tomorrow on we work again.
When you go into a game like this, what are you trying to achieve from it, and what are the learnings you take out the 120 minutes we've seen today?
Yes, Red Bull Leipzig is so full packed with young, talented player with unbelievable and crazy potential. So you just have to have a look on their values more or less on the transfer market. If you allow them to play on the front foot, this team can be unstoppable. So we wanted to overtake control more or less from the first minute. We had a really good starting period, deserved also to go and lead. Of course, during such a game, there's also sometimes a period when you have to suffer a bit and accept that they also have quality and they have also part of possession. In this moment, you have to be structured and well organized, but also ready to jump again whenever you can do this, and also like to be good on the ball in this moment. And yeah, like always, there were also a few things that we could have improved, especially in possession. But overall, I think we created in both games more or less even chances for more goals. We were also a bit unlucky with crossbar and whatever, not to score a few more. And I'm most delighted about that we play against such a strong opponent over 120 minutes in pre-season where everyone is a bit tired and you have many changes and you still play 2-0, more or less a clean sheet. So many positive things to take and what I wanted to see, and I did see a lot today.
I think you touched on it there, that a team like Leipzig who play on the front foot, that are capable of like hitting you on the counter-attack, you must have been really pleased with the limited chances that Alex Cairns has had to make, hasn't he, really?
Yes, we know when he plays 120 minutes also against us in the Cup, anyhow, he's always outstanding, so we trusted him today 120 minutes, but it's also good that James Trafford will arrive soon. No, it was important because they have so much pace and quality in the offense. It was important time to to be organized and to not allow them to open up, to be brave, to defend forward, not scared of their quality. No, we want our DNA, we want to defend forward and want to win, if anyhow possible, the ball high on the pitch. Okay, if they sometimes overplay us, okay, then we have to come back, invest everything to get compact and win the ball back a bit deeper. But also in this moments, to be structured and not to allow anything more or less is quite remarkable, especially also for some lads who were young lads who were involved in the especially in the second part of the second game, and really happy with this.
No, I just wanted to ask you, Daniel, obviously about the relationships that we've already seen. I think today that a number of times, the first goal comes from Joe and Jayden and them relationships. How important are they? Are they something you work on relentlessly, especially if you're playing that formation, to get Joe on an overlapping run?
No, exactly. This was a bit like best practice from last season, where they both also played quite often on this position, and it always helps when players have a relationship and they know exactly how the movement is, how the timing is. Of course, you work on this on the training pitch, but this automatism comes also like a bit with understanding. This is why it's so important to integrate also new players. The good thing is we have a good core bones also from last season, and this was a perfect example because Joe, Jayden knew exactly in which moment they have to do the run to open the space, and then of course Joe Rodon a bit like a winger again with another assist. A remarkable performance from him today again.
You must be really pleased how the new lads have settled in. Harry Wilson and Muharemović, he looks a real top player, doesn't he? He looks a proper defender. Obviously James Trafford coming in. Looks like they've settled in really quickly into the group, and that's important, isn't it, going forward?
Yeah, so we can't blame them that we have not played one competitive game so far. But you just can judge what they have played so far. It's just pre-season, and again, the real stuff begins just in 2 weeks. But so far they have delivered excellent, I have to say. Tariq looks really like in the defense so far like a Rolls Royce. I really like his calmness on the ball. Always finds the right pass. Harry Wilson, of course, he has played also slightly different at Fulham. He has to get used to a bit more high pressing and a bit more intensity, and also lots of workload for our offensive players, but he's adapting quite well. And what he can do if he is in a finishing position or to play in the position to play the final pass, we all know this. He has proved this all day long last season, so glad that we have him. Still a bit work to do, and they are not 100% fresh and sharp, but for that it looked really good today.
Good.
Obviously these are pre-season friendlies. Just finally, Wednesday's a pre-season friendly, but given the opposition, a pre-season friendly with an edge?
It's never been a friendly match, has it?
Nothing to add. There's never a friendly match against a team who comes in red now.
Okay. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Joining us live here on the post-match analysis. So there you go. Daniel Farke, obviously pleased. It's kind of what we said, wasn't it? You just kind of get through that, and a lot of positives at the end of it, and actually if you can come out of it with a lot of positives, then it's very much job done.
Yeah, look, as he was touching on there, he was glad the players have got the minutes into him. He had the intensity, the things that he was probably thinking about before the game started. Have they carried out what he wanted them to do? And he's described it really well, that when he wanted to get after them and wanted to be brave and go like high on the press with it, but when they had good possession, you drop back into that 5-4-1 and be solid and be compact, but then making sure that when also you get possession, you've got your patterns of play, how to play out from the back, or people running forward when you're in good areas. So I think it's another good step going forward for him.
Yeah, he's obviously excited about the fact that they're bolstering the squad as well. You can hear what he's talking about, Tariq and Harry and James, that's coming in. These are really good players, and he'll want to push on from last season. That's what you want to do as a manager.
He'll be pushing the board still, I would think, for another couple of players, knowing what us managers are like. But it's a good start, and I think there's good competition for places here as well, and keep everybody fit. And I'm not saying that the squad is done. I still think there'll be one or two that will come in still, and maybe one or two will leave the club. But there's healthy competition, and keep everybody fit and going on the front foot. Then let's enjoy this season. But his DNA is there still for everybody to see. It doesn't change which personnel come in. It still just carries on because of what his thought process is as a manager.
Yeah, Stu, let's take a look at a couple of the chances that were also created during the game today. Perhaps you can talk us through a couple of these, because Leeds did have some other opportunities. Daniel mentioned there that we were unlucky in a couple of moments, and a couple of players, Brendan Aaronson down just right in front of us down there, didn't he? Had an opportunity to pop one away, and there were other moments, Harry Wilson and Nmecha towards the end. We could have had more.
Yeah, we could have had more. I think obviously the one that stands out is the Brendan one when he goes through, and he should hit the target. I think when you see it, he should have hit the target. But again, the Harry Wilson one in the second half as well comes from really good play. The cutback, and he probably maybe goes with his wrong foot. He tries to open up with the side of his right foot. But this one here, we can see a Stan James when he cuts in, and he sort of just drags it wide. But there was a number of chances today. You see here, Dan, he gets into position, and you're thinking, can you just maybe take another touch and bend it around the defender? But I think this is the one here. Is it the Wilson one? We see it's a ball over the top from Muharemović, and then just a cut back, and Wilson comes on there. He tries to open up with his right foot. Maybe can he use his strongest foot, his left, just to swing it in. You see here it's Justin. It's a good cut back. Can't possibly not. I think a defender, when you see it again, actually the defender's in a position, so he's actually maybe right to go with his right foot. This is a Brendan one here. We said, can he hit the target there? Can he go through the keeper's legs? And he'll be disappointed he hasn't scored there.
I think that's the only criticism that Aaronson has at times, that when he gets in some good key positions, he doesn't take them as often as he should do. But at least he gets in there. Yeah.
From getting your numbers up as well is when you get in that position, you've got to finish it, and he'll be disappointed.
Yeah, and in terms of the opposition today, RB Leipzig, there wasn't a huge amount in terms of real danger moments in and amongst the box. Leeds defenders cope with it pretty well.
Yeah, look, we've seen the chances that other lads have had as the game's gone on as well, but when they've got into some areas, there's been white shirts in the way. We've seen one or two, like people like Cresswell and Bijol came on, they made the blocks. Cairns, he made a couple of chances saves when he had to do, and that's what you have got to have, that mentality. You've got to make sure that you're not giving up any advantage that you've got easily, and people have got to run forward, they've got to run back. You've got to make sure that you're picking up people, and you make it really difficult. Alex makes a good save there, low down with his left foot, and there was some good moments defensively.
At times as well, because we obviously have the advantage of seeing it up there. Maybe you don't see it at home on the TV, but Leeds seem to go 3v3 at the back a lot of times, which means if you don't take care of the ball higher up the pitch and you lose the ball, there's a 4v3, so you've got to get numbers back, you've got to be willing to run, and that's why they've got to take real care when they're in and around these areas, so they're not giving up these chances. Because
there was one moment towards the end, wasn't there, where that happened, and they were through, and you thought, we could be in trouble.
Give it away on the edge, or just inside their half, and then they break, and young Cresswell does really well, to be fair, because he delays and delays and delays, and you almost think he's gone too far, and he manages to get a toe on it, but against the bigger opposition in the Premier League, you'll get punished there. So there is a lot of things for Daniel to take. There's also a lot of things for him to work on as well.
In terms of Premier League opposition, and we mentioned to Daniel there about the word friendly for Wednesday night. That's going to be some occasion as well, isn't it, Simon? Because the place is going to be packed over there. Huge fan bases for both teams. It should be a really good one.
Yeah, look, Wednesday night, 80,000 in Croke Park. As we mentioned before, there's never a friendly between the two clubs, as long as it doesn't get out of hand, which I'm sure it won't do. It'll be competitive, there'll be intensity. It'll be a good benchmark to see where we are, because they'll be, again, 10 days away from the start of the season like we are. I'm not sure who they've been playing this weekend or midweek last week, so
you don't keep tabs on all their games.
No, it's not high. I'd rather be watching Gateshead or something like that. But it's another test of where we're going to be, and more minutes in the legs for the players.
Yeah, it is a good test, that one coming up, isn't it? Just as we get closer towards that opening day of the season against Forest.
It's a huge test, and as Simon says, 80,000 in Croke Park. I know the support that both clubs have from both Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland, so it's going to give fans an opportunity who maybe don't get the opportunity to come across to England every other week to come and watch their sides, and it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. But it's going to be relentless, I think, as we've already stated a few times. It's never a friendly between the two clubs. It's just one we're looking forward to.
You'd imagine, I don't know, but you'd imagine James Trafford will start in goal for that. At some point, you want to start building that relationship between goalkeeper and centre-backs and a defensive unit, don't you?
Yeah, I would have thought so. Look, I don't know when he trained Monday or Tuesday, I would have thought. Probably players might have tomorrow off. And look, he'll have seen the players play last season in the Premier League, but it's having that understanding, them moments where you're called upon, or the information that you need to pass on to your defenders because of you're their eyes and ears. And basically, he's going to be there to guide them, tell them where the attackers are going to be at times. So again, it's that understanding, like through balls over the top. Does he know when to come for it, when he doesn't, when to drop? So yeah, all these relationships. But he's a real good goalkeeper, and good goalkeepers make good decisions.
Yeah, it's relationships, and I guess communication between the players, because people operate slightly differently, or how you talk to each other. That's something that builds over time, Stu, between a goalie and a defensive unit.
It is, and now that he's in the building, I expect obviously the next couple of weeks to be training, to be working on that and working on the defensive units and them relationships. Obviously coming in, for me, he's got to play both games, just to build them relationships. I know he won't. But Cairns, he's done well. He's done really well today. But Cairns, on one hand, Cairns, he's left-footed, so James is coming in and he's right-footed. So that again, that all determines when a ball goes over the top where I lay it back to, which side. So all these little small things that you don't think are huge, when you're playing in front of what will be 80,000 on Wednesday night, these little fine margins can win or lose you a game as well. So it's important for me that he plays. We know the qualities he has. As Simon says, good goalkeepers make good decisions, but you have to build that relationship especially with your back line.
And then back in next week for more German opposition in the form of Augsburg as well.
Yeah, look, it will be the last game, so everybody again will be trying to showcase the talents. I don't think it's a 120 minutes game, is it, then like today, but there's always that buzz for the last pre-season of the campaign, ready for knowing in a week's time it's the real thing. And going to Forest, where it's not easy to go there. They've had a couple of years now in the Premier League, and it'll be a good test to see where we are, because I think we spoke off air that 4 or 5 games before the first international break come along, and we're playing teams that you wouldn't class as top 6 opposition, but ones that we should be competing about next year to see where we can be in the league.
Yeah, it's an interesting start, isn't it? Because it does. You look at those fixtures, and all the teams in the Premier League are good teams, but you think actually they're ones where you're kind of looking at, well, could we get points here? Can we get points there? We've got Forest, there's Brentford, Palace are in there, Brighton, Newcastle. It's a set of teams, isn't it, where you look at the fixtures and you think, okay, well, if we want to be competing, then those are ones we're going to want to put points in.
You can look at that, but I think the Premier League is completely, like we've seen last season, the big teams that we had in a row, and you go and the run kind of starts from there, and you pick up a lot of points. But I think it's really important that you do get off to a fast start, and a good start, because it just brings positivity, it brings a good energy from outside of the pitch, the fans, the media, everything. It just builds a real good culture within the club. If you get off to a poor start, you know, it's difficult as a player, it's difficult, and we can all say, oh, you know, you've got to put your big boy boots on and get on with it. Of course you do, but we live in a real world now where pressure does get to people, so it's important that we do start really well. And you know, we've looked good in certain parts of pre-season. We still have another 2 weeks to go. Players look fit, fitness levels look good, so I'm sure they'll be ready come that first game.
A lot of new managers as well in the league. You know, a lot of teams on a bit of a reset, which potentially could prove an opportunity, or maybe those teams are going to go on. But certainly when new managers come in, there is a bit of a reset. We've seen that with lots of teams recently. Yeah,
look, and you don't quite know if the players are going to be up to speed in terms of delivering what the managers wanted them to do, because they might change completely philosophy compared to the previous manager. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how these new managers cope in the Premier League, because people are coming with big reputations, and the pressure's on them, isn't it? Because the Premier League's so intense and everything. Last year, Daniel was under a little bit of pressure from the noise from the outside, but you've got to embrace that opportunity, and he certainly did, and had an unbelievable season for us. And that's all these new managers in the Premier League will be looking to do the same thing as well. So it's so competitive both on and off the pitch.
And of course, we now know after last season, teams will be looking at Leeds United and thinking, well, they're not going to be easy to take points off, particularly here at Elland Road. As always, this place, Stu, is going to play a big part in the season to come.
Huge. You know, we've seen how big a part the fans can play, especially at night time. For some reason, it's a special place to play under the lights. I think that was well documented last season as well. But I think the team last season have shown, certainly from the turn of the year, that from November time, that they're going to be really hard to beat. I think when you see the profile of the players that have been recruited both last year and this year now, the foundations are there to be really hard to beat, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to make it as hard as possible, especially here when teams come here, that they go away with nothing.
I think there's a real togetherness about this football club at this moment in time in terms of the players and the supporters, Daniel and the board and everything. I think they're all wanting exactly the same thing. They're obviously so passionate about the club, and I think that's a big part, that you've that connection. Even through the tough times, you all stick together. We've been here where the team has struggled in certain parts of games, but the crowd has stayed with the team and got us over the line by nicking a draw or nicking a win at times, and that's so important.
Yeah, we're hopefully going to hear from Jayden Bogle shortly. They're just doing their post-match kind of warm down, I guess, really, but hopefully Jayden's going to join us in just a moment. We'll be able to have a little chat with him. We were talking so much about not just the game, but around Leeds United at the moment and around Elland Road, and you can see the physical signs of that now. And here in the West Stand and the work that's going on behind and the building that's happening, and it is really exciting, isn't it? Because we've wanted this for so long for the club, and to see that a new stand's going to go up and what that brings with it, alongside that player recruitment we're talking about and the level that we're playing at, also the infrastructure, the stuff around it. It's going to make a big difference. Yeah,
and I think we've known a few people today that have had a busy week in the build-up to this game, trying to work out the logistics of exactly what's been happening or going to happen through the season. But the good thing about the redevelopment of the club is that they're not trying to get away from what makes this place intimidating, is the atmosphere, crowd on top of you. Yeah, there's going to be 8,000 more people, I think, isn't it? No, it's 17,000, of course it is. What am I? My maths are wrong. But got to try and keep it as intimidating as possible. And the club is only progressing now, and you've got to keep doing that if you want to be sustainable in the Premier League. And some clubs sometimes can go from a level and then they go too quickly. I think we're correct in what we're doing, that we're building and building and building real solid foundations for the future.
I think obviously we talk about the ground, and you can look at teams within the Premier League now, and I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but you look at a West Ham and places like that where the atmosphere is lost completely. So it's important what makes Leeds special, and it is the atmosphere within the ground, and we know that. So it's important that the club do try and keep that, which they are trying to do, which is fantastic. As a player playing here, there's no better place. But yeah, the different departments are really trying to progress, and it's easy again as fans looking in, saying, why are we not doing this? Why are we not doing it quick enough? We want it yesterday.
Fans complaining shit.
Yeah, I know, but it takes time, and the board have done really well. The management's doing really well. The players are doing really well. It's all, as Simon says, it's all coming together nicely, and this club is better when they're together.
It's so important that we stay in the Premier League this year, because we got relegated the second year as well. If you're trying to be sustainable and build the foundations, you've just got to make sure you keep staying up. And I'm pretty sure, I'm very positive that we will do, because I think the players have done really well. There's new players still going to be coming, and I think there'll be worse teams than us throughout the course of the season, without a shadow of a doubt. But it's so important to stay up, to keep building, and then once you get the third season, fourth season, it's not a given. But it makes it a lot bit easier, because of the money becomes a lot more easier to bring into the club. So, yeah, it's tough, the Premier League, but it's enjoyable as well.
Well, let me ask you, in terms of expectations for the season, and I wouldn't have got to this question, but we're still waiting for Jayden Bogle, so you can blame him that we're at this point now. So, what is the realistic expectation this season? The fans are excited. We're excited. They had a great season last season, but is it stay up anything more as a bonus? Is that where it's at? Where do you see us pushing towards?
I think Simon's already touched on it. They've got to stay up first and foremost. But I think when you look at it, you can't. I think Daniel alluded to it in his press during the week. You can't just go and take on the top 6 or 7 teams in the country. You can't do that. You've got to build slowly, aim for a little bit higher this year, and then keep trying to progress. If you try and jump too quickly, again, we've seen it before where teams fall, clubs fail. So it's important you just maintain the Premier League status, try and stay in the league this year again, and that's not being. I don't mean to sound negative in what I'm saying. It's the reality. This league is it's so competitive. The difference in money between the two leagues is incredible. So it's important that they just maintain the status, and build in the background, which obviously they're clearly doing.
We've just got to try and make sure that we win a mini league away from the top 6, 8. And again, you saw Sunderland last year obviously challenged and got into Europe as well. Look, it's a possibility that could happen, but also you've got to make sure that sort of... how you doing, you okay? But also you've got to go with a realistic aim.
He's not coming for a shot.
Come on.
Jaden's coming.
What's he doing?
Stu's trying to set up unauthorised chats.
Give the viewers what they want.
Throw me there. Look, we're not being pessimistic by saying that we've just got to stay up. It's about making sure that you've got a realistic ambition of what you're trying to achieve, but you've still got to be pushing to get in that, be a comfortable mid-table team. Will be an exceptional season again for us, you know what I mean?
You need to have a clear vision, and the club will have a clear vision and what they want to do, where they want to be, but it's not just a 1-year plan. It's a 5-year plan, it's a 10-year plan, and you can't just go from here to there. You've got to build slowly, and it takes time. So it's important they just are patient as well.
There's some of the things interesting, isn't it, with them having European football? I mean, it's a hell of a lot more games now, so your squad needs to expand. Fair play to them. Listen, we would have been absolutely happy to be doing that. They're going to have a lot of fun in Europe this season. It puts a lot of more pressure on you, doesn't it?
You've seen a few teams last year that were playing in Europe were down near the bottom at times as well, and it can be a little bit detrimental. Look, as you said there, you're not going to dismiss going into Europe or anything like that, but
we're trying to not come across bitter. Is the point? No. That's the point there.
But it will put that extra load on them, because you've still got to play. You're playing Thursday, Sundays more times than not. You can only carry a 25-man squad as well. You might have some depth, but you get a few injuries in the travelling.
It's incredible, and I know we're all the modern day player now at the highest clubs are blessed with the rest and recovery, everything they do. They stay in the best hotels, they travel the best ways, of course they do, but it still takes its toll on you. And when you have a small squad, or when you have these extra games Thursday, Sunday for weeks and months throughout the season, it's tough to deal with.
Quicker on the pitch than he does off the pitch, by the way.
It's all right.
You've saved us. In fact, you've saved everyone watching, because we were just bumbling at that point. Thanks so much for taking a little bit of time. A good day all round, really, wasn't it? With a couple of goals, you were involved in the first one there as well, and a clean sheet and plenty of minutes for everyone.
Yeah, it was good. It was enjoyable. Nice to be back as well. And yeah, overall a good game in both 60s.
You said nice to be back. Do you get that same feeling that us fans do as well, actually coming up to the stadium for the first time, but us watching you to play, that actually it's just nice to be back in and amongst it?
Yeah, 100%. Even though it's still pre-season, getting back in our home was important. We had a good few games away as well. But yeah, everyone was buzzing to be back.
How much did you enjoy being in America then, with being out there and the games that you had? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was nice. A bit different to what we've done previously. So it was nice, but again, I think as it got towards the end, everyone was excited to get back for this game as well.
Yeah, get back to the God's country,
exactly.
No, I'm just I'm thinking more on the game. You talk about pre-season, more on the game, and obviously that formation that you were playing today. I've talked about my own experience playing it and playing sort of where you were, with a sort of right centre back behind me. How important is it then when you've Harry Wilson in front of you today, his starting position, when I'm talking about the goal? Because at times it's really hard to get them relationships, but because Harry's inside, then it allows you to get on the ball. Because at times when I was playing there, I didn't know where to run to at times. So how important is them relationships?
Yeah, I think it's really important. We worked on it quite a bit in pre-season already. And yeah, especially for H coming in, he's adapted really quick to it as well. Obviously me and Joe played together quite a bit. So, and again, with JJ as well, we played together quite a bit too. So it was a bit easier. And then, yeah, H just slotted in. He done really well, took up positions. And I think it's more about just having someone in the areas than a specific person. And yeah, you can see from the goals today that I think both goals were quite similar, to be fair, down the side and then across with a finish.
It's like when you're talking about patterns of play, that even last year there's so many times that you're playing as a centre forward at times, aren't you? You're making them runs from out to in and getting in amongst the box, and that's obviously a lot of work on the training pitch, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just about trying to make it as difficult for the opposition as possible. Like I said, not have a specific person in a certain role. At times you obviously need that for the structure, but But yeah, just being confident and trying to stay as calm as possible, but make it as difficult as possible for the
I think defensively as well, when you're playing against a team like them who are really good on the counter press and counter attack, I thought the team looked really compact and looked really sort of comfortable in the defensive unit as well.
Yeah, again, that's what we've been working on as well. We know that in the Premier League, you're going to get teams that are going to counter press really quick, and you have to be good on the ball, but stay as calm as possible to try and take the press out of it. So yeah, I think we showed that really well at times today.
Oh, good.
Just a couple of weeks out from the season getting underway. It looks from the outside like everything's just heading nicely in the right direction. New recruits coming in, settling in, and James Trafford now joining as well. How does it feel from the inside the camp?
Yeah, it's really nice. Obviously, it's been everywhere for a while, so yeah, you keep seeing things. But yeah, it's nice, obviously, to finally get it over the line, and we'll welcome him into the team.
And a big game on Wednesday. We were saying to Daniel Farke when he was here, can't really call that one a friendly, can you?
Nah, you can't. Even though it's pre-season, it's not going to be friendly, is it? But yeah, no, we'll recover now and then prepare for that one next.
Really appreciate it. Well played today.
Cheers,
good luck for Wednesday, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers. Well done.
There you go. Thoughts of no worries, man. Thoughts of Jane and Bogle. Ethan, just coming over to say hello. Well played, Ethan. There you go. Okay, well that's pretty much us wrapped up here from today. Wherever you've been watching us, thanks for joining us. It feels good, doesn't it, Stu? Like the sort of vibes feel in the right place. It all feels very positive at the moment, and let's hope we're still thinking that at the end of Wednesday night.
Yeah, it does. I think when you speak to you get that vibe when you're speaking to the players, you're speaking to the manager. Everybody's happy. There's real feel-good factors we've already talked about, and hopefully it continues on Wednesday.
Plenty of smiles on people's faces, isn't there? And supporters will be going home happy, winning the pre-season game. On to the next one now, and 2 weeks' time, the real thing starts, doesn't it?
Well, there you go. It's August. The sun's been shining. Leeds have scored a couple of goals. It's been a clean sheet, and Stuart didn't get absolutely mullered by the guy on the BMX in the stunts beforehand. So
he got mullered by the lad who battered him.
Oh yeah, Tex though, didn't he? Yeah, he had a go at you.
35 the way I'm
Thanks for clarifying. It's all right. We've all got your Wikipedia.
Still a bit to catch you.
It's all good. Thank you for joining us. Wherever you've been watching from today, we'll have all the action, of course, on Wednesday and all the pre-season stuff. Make sure you're on the app. All the post-match interviews, if you missed anything, will be on there. But for now, from us here at Elland Road, we'll see you at the next one.